emerges from beneath the sand. The instant technique seems so far away. Across this universe, she lives another day. Another reason.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Wednesday Night Modern here at MTGCardMarket. I'm Matthew Cartier in the booth with Dan Dwan, hoping to see some good Modern tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got players already seated, so we can throw it down immediately and let's get started.
Absolutely. So yeah, the format lately has been undergoing some pretty big shifts, and we're going to get to see on display. We're going to get to see one of these decks played by Zhao Tan on the right here. He's playing Death Shadow Jund, which has really made a name for itself as the deck, sort of the deck to beat almost, which is rare because in Modern normally there is no deck to beat, but
right.
Death Shadow Jund feels pretty spooky right now.
Yeah, I mean, you take the best parts of Death Shadow and combine it with the best parts of Jund, and all of a sudden, like, good cards are still good.
Shockingly enough, yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the most exciting changes to the Modern format, though, is the introduction of a ton of new players in the next couple of months.
Absolutely, yeah. With Modern Masters just coming out, like so many more people are going to be able to have access to, Modern cards that used to be like extremely expensive. Like I bought in on Scalding Tarns, using store credit at like 80 or something, but those have come down a lot. The boxes are so full of staples that almost every staple has tumbled significantly in value.
Right. Actually, if you were going to buy into the format, I would start with the cards that are not in Modern Masters.
Such as Noble Hierarch, maybe?
Yeah, I would pick up, if you want to play Death Shadow, for example, I would pick up your $40 baubles first.
Mishra's Bauble card that is important to the Death Shadow deck because of its cantrip ability, and and for the fact that it's an artifact. Pull it up on the right here. It's a weird card, honestly. Like, sacrifice Mishra's Bauble, look at the top card of target player's library, draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. So if you do this on your turn and find out what your opponent is drawing, you have to draw on their upkeep, and that is something that you can miss because a lot of people for upkeep triggers will put cards on the top of their library, or will put like a die on the top of their library, but it's your opponent's library.
Incorrect.
How do you do that?
And this is this is a very bad trigger to forget to do.
Yeah, it's not a good card if you don't draw a card. I've heard that this is not a playable effect unless you draw a card.
Yeah, but I mean, one of the key points of like this deck is that you make the largest glyphs. I mean, you have access to everything but enchantment in this deck.
Right. Yeah, you have tribal from your Tarfires. You have Liliana's as Planeswalker. Obviously, creatures, instants, sorceries from your discard spells, and artifacts from Bauble. It's quite formidable when your Goyfs are like 4 or 5 Goyf is a standard, right? And that's pretty big. But
right. And sometimes we even hit 5-6 from Liliana's.
Yeah.
But to have like a 7-8,
or when it gets to a 7-8, it kills so fast.
Right.
And that could be the difference against some of these decks. For example, James on Green Black Tron has a pretty good matchup against traditional Jund, but against Death Shadow Jund, he's got a much harder time because the Death Shadow can be a lot of pressure. And we're going to get underway here. It looks like Zhao's on the play, and he has sacrificed a Misty Rainforest, presumably to search up a Shockland, get himself down to 17, start making the Shadow a possibility in the next couple turns.
Right. And one benefit of Mishra's Bauble as well that we didn't mention was that more than just turning on Goyfs, making sure that your traverses are always online.
Yeah, that's a
very important part.
Yeah, because Goyf checks every graveyard, but Traverse just checks yours. I mean, here we'll see Zhao with a Thoughtseize, so the good old turn 1 Lightning Axe yourself. But it's pretty good here as we'll look at a Sylvan Scrying, 2 Tron lands, a Collective Brutality, and a Blooming Marsh. And if I were Zhao, I think I'd take the Sylvan Scrying, right?
Yeah, so without this, James doesn't have any way of actually assembling Tron.
Right.
I don't remember if he scryed to the top or not. But obviously, like, Thoughtseize is pretty punishing against the Mold of 5.
Right, now absolutely.
Your hand already is barely functional.
I think James might have just actually turned on Tron, though.
Oh, did he just...
I think he drew Power Plant. So that's the mine that looks like a tower.
Yes.
He drew Power Plant, and he has a tower in hand. So
yeah, that's just natural Tron. Why not?
I mean... you know, James now has to draw a threat, but it's much harder to draw. You know, it's much harder to draw one of your 4 Tron lands than one of your 10 or 12 threats. Back over to Zhao here. So 2 card types in the graveyard, sitting at 15. Can put himself to 12 with this. One thing that's nice about playing against Tron is that, you know, until you get into like the range where Collective Brutality will kill you, you don't have to worry about any reach.
Right.
You know, you don't have to like worry about putting yourself low and like dying like Boros-Tron.
Yeah, but one thing is, if you put yourself to 12, you can't really play the Death Shadow because you know your opponent has Collective Brutality.
This is true.
All right, and that feels pretty silly.
Yeah, I mean, losing a Death Shadow, to Brutality, obviously not great. Still only 2 card types in the graveyard. We've seen a Traverse in Zhao's hand, so we know that, you know, once he turns on Delirium, he'll have access to just, like, tutor this. He can actually, so if he Tar Fires James here, he can Traverse for a Shadow.
Yeah, I believe he has a Death Shadow in hand already.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Tarfire yourself?
So yeah, Tarfire yourself is a play that he can make if James decides to go on Brutality. You know, alternatively, James might just not care about the Death Shadow and jam out a second Tron piece trying to top deck, you know, a Karn or a Worm Coil.
That's his way to winning the game for sure. But yeah, Zhao thinking about it now.
Oh yeah, and also with a Street Wraith in hand, I'm not concerned at all. I don't even have to Tarfire myself. I can just Tarfire you.
Yeah. Yeah, play a Shadow, and then end of turn Tarfire you, cycle the Street Wraith to grow the Shadow.
Yep.
Death Shadow currently a 1/1 on this board. This card, Wizards, pretty prescient in picking this up for a reprint in the new format.
Right. And now
in the new Modern Masters.
One thing I've noted is that Shao could not have played Death Shadow and Traversed.
Right.
He was 1 short even if he cycled the
Wraith,
the Street Wraith. Now, if I'm James here, I have to play the
Tron piece.
A Tron piece.
You gotta know there's so many different ways that Zhao can change his life total at instant speed.
Right, it's incredibly tempting to try to go for this play, but if you go for the Brutality, what this means is you will not be able to turn Tron on to turn 4, and by then it's very possible you're dead.
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely. And so now. Yeah, as we look at, I really do think he's considering it, though. I can't tell what he's picked up on the draw.
If he does this, he's definitely considering it, yeah.
I think he might have an Ugin in hand, though.
But Ugin's just not good here.
I mean, Ugin comes down naturally on turn 4, right? Like, he's not worried about getting Tron. Like, I guess you get punished if you draw a Worm Coil here, for example. But yeah, Zhao in response, pretty easily should just cycle the Street Wraith.
Cycle the Street Wraith, yeah.
Gain, lose 2 life, draw a card. This also might be, I'm not sure, I mean, I assume James picked try to kill your Death Shadow here. He picked a hand strip. Okay. So it's Street Wraith, Traverse, Tarfire, Fatal Push.
Yeah.
Traverse being the top card.
I think this is Traverse not close.
Oh yeah.
This is Traverse not close.
Absolutely not close. If you're Zhao here, I think you definitely want to go like Street Wraith end of turn, either Tarfire you or Tarfire.
So and that's actually an interesting choice too. So definitely Psycho Street Wraith, just so you can see what you have what you have access to work with. The Tarfire yourself or your opponent, right?
Yeah.
James would end up being at the same life total next turn.
But you get more.
But if you get an extra hit,
Zhao points Tarfire at himself.
Right.
Yeah, if you get an extra hit, then you've doubled the damage.
Right, then all of a sudden you've done 4. And okay, yeah, you can always cycle Street Wraith later.
Whenever, yeah, it's instant speed.
I would have preferred to do it like last turn before I Tarfired in case, in case my draw influenced what I was going to do.
So he draws a Liliana the last hope and picks up another Traverse, which is huge, actually.
Yeah, so this is going to be quite good.
Attack for 5.
Yeah, attack for 5. Traverse, find another. All of a sudden we've got 10 power here.
Right, and I don't think James will live to play the Ugin.
Right. This means that James is dead to a fetch land.
Right. Yeah, so, wow, yeah, and that's a brutal top deck for James because I actually don't know if he gets there or not, if he didn't.
I mean, so
I guess you'd have to make the Death Shadow an 8 and hit him twice, but yeah. Okay, so James draws an Ulamog. He needs to just play a Tron land and pass here and hope that he gets to play the Ugin. If he does get to play the Ugin, though, I think he might win.
Right, so live draws for Shao, right?
Fetch land.
Fetch land is good. Bolt is also good.
I don't think he's playing Bolt.
I don't think he's playing Bolt, but, he
Draw
could.
step. That's a bobble. Well, that's going to be slow.
Yeah, the bubble's not going to be enough.
Yeah, putting out a just little reminder die. I get to look at the top card of your deck. But yeah, now James just gets to play Ugin and win, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Ugin -1 is very, 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 very good on this board.
Yeah, Xiao's hand is Fatal Push, which is unplayable.
Yep. Attack for 10. Attacking for 10 on turn 3 is usually pretty good, but it's going to put James to 5, and he's just going to turn on the Tron lands and jam this Ugin.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a shame. Xiao definitely had a live
draws, yeah.
But
Bobble's not instant, so you draw it late.
Yeah.
And now James has Tron on, plays the Ugin, and so how exactly do you win?
Xiao can no longer win because short of drawing he doesn't even have Bolt, right? So it's Tar Fire is your only instant speed way of dealing damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just with the Death Shadow deck, there's nothing that has haste,
right?
Or closing speed. The old Death Shadow deck had Monastery Swift Spears, and it was more of a combo deck with Becomingments. But this has no closing speed, so Xiao is just there's almost nothing Xiao can do. Even if he's able to play a creature every turn, James can just repeatedly minus his Ugin.
Right. So what Zhao might know, because he can just minus every single turn. So I think Zhao though can play the Swamp here, play Liliana. You can't get the Death Shadow back though. That's the problem.
I mean, he can get it back. He can't redeploy it.
No, they're exiled from the Ugin.
Oh, that's right.
He could get the Street Wraith back, or if he flips another creature.
But I mean, what good does that do? And let's.
I mean, I don't. You have to. But I think if the Ugin pluses once, you're definitely not winning.
Yeah, the Ugin plus is it's effectively Bolt.
I think you play Lily plus, but then he just pluses on your Lily, and you're in the same spot.
Right. I mean, at least you've deployed something. Let's not also forget James drew Ulamog next turn. He's
if he has another Tron land, he gets to be in the business of playing it.
Right.
Just it comes together for James. Oh, so Zhao does flip a Death Shadow.
Yep, but
it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, it won't matter.
He's going to get the Street Wraith back and cycle it, go to 6.
A little curious here. So Xiao's deck might have more burn than we initially thought.
Maybe
and he might be trying to draw into that.
Sure.
We see him draw Liliana
of the Veil.
Which
not as good when you already have a Lily on board.
Yeah, not great.
James, you're probably looking to go up on the Ugin, it does the same thing and keeps higher loyalty on your walker.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go up on Liliana. I would just go up to face.
Face, yeah.
Xiao's dead next turn.
Yeah, exactly. So, put you to 3. And this is the... Oh, God.
Okay, sure. Why not?
I think this game is very... Oh,
yeah.
God.
I'm not... Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a good run. You can kill himself with the fetch land, but...
You can fetch shock yourself. Yeah.
So he was on the play too. He had big Death Shadows. He had to draw fetch land, and he didn't draw fetch land.
Right.
He needed to be able to swing for 16.
So obviously James's draw was very good, right?
Tron piece Ugin, yeah.
Well, yeah. So he natural Tron, and Ugin.
And Ugin is the actual I guess maybe no, cause I guess Wormcoil might do it.
Wormcoil wasn't guaranteed to be good enough
because he could make it bigger, or he could play the Lily Strength the Wormcoil, you gain less life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go to the boards here. Zhao looking at some stuff. Lingering Souls, Ancient Grudge, Kataki War's Wage. I don't mind the Ancient Grudges. I think the rest is probably not great. This deck sort of really relies on just having a huge creature that and with their with Thoughtseizes and stuff to disrupt Tron enough before Tron becomes the inevitable monster that it is.
I mean, you're certainly the aggressor in this matchup, and and that's one of the difficulties in sideboarding. If you try to take a controlling route, you're never going to go over the top of Tron, especially with something like this.
Oh, absolutely not.
You can try to play that game in normal Jund, where if you have crumbles or foemanage, you might be able to grind a little bit better. But here it's just like you're going full steam, right? Yeah, you certainly have cards like Fatal Push that are completely dead that might want to board out. So I would just board in as much like I would replace all the cards that are actually useless.
Right. I mean, I think that the. Well, I guess he's just bringing the Ancient Grudges, right? Oh, he has Fulminators.
Yeah, Fulminators, sure.
So the Fulminators seem awesome.
They are also a little bit slow.
Yeah, I mean, you have to like Thoughtseize them, hope they don't have natural Tron, and then start Fulminatoring them.
Right, like if you're the Tron deck and you're playing against an aggressive deck and they take their turn 3 off to Molten Rain you. Like, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? If they're already ahead on board, then you're super dead, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, if they go Goif into Fulminator, you might have a problem.
But if they don't have anything on board, now you're in rough shape.
Yeah. So shuffling up here, I'll put.
Did we see what variety of Tron this was?
That's green black. He's got Brutality, right?
Oh, right. He has Brutality, correct.
So James can bring in Fatal Push, correct?
He probably has quite a few of them in a main.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has all 4. But
Fatal Push seems pretty good.
I'd imagine he has access to all 4 in his 75.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just kill their stuff. Like, you're not even worried about enabling it.
Yeah, one of the biggest boons that Green Black had was Fatal Push. Like, you were always kind of light in the removal department with those colors.
But now, which is sort of bizarre because you think black would be good at killing stuff.
Right. That your secondary color is always a light splash, right?
Your secondary color. You also want your removal to only cost 1.
Yes.
So like in this case,
like,
Fatal Push getting printed. I mean,
you're
honestly,
never going to support a Damnation or anything. So
what a fantastic staple card that was printed recently, right? Like, we'll pull it up on the right here, but I don't know. I just like. There are a lot, like, I'm impressed that Wizards managed to get the power level right on something like this. This could have been like busted. But it was, this is, I mean, we're gonna go to game 2 here. This deck, this with Fatal Push, both decks actually playing it. It works for a variety of strategies. One with the sort of tempo-y fast deck, and the other with the, like more controlling Tron deck. Like they work in both just because it's so cheap and so efficient to kill stuff with, especially when you turn on Revolt and kill their 4-drop.
Yes. I mean, it's so efficiently priced. Like cards like this, like you draw parallels to like Path to Exile, right?
Right. Yeah.
And Path to Exile like has the extra land in a format like this is extremely punishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So almost ready for game 2. Game 2 here. James up a game, so Zhao to be on the play. Yeah, I mean, I think that both decks just sort of executed. James obviously like pretty fortunate that he was able to draw into Tron like he did, but that's what happens with Tron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're gonna go into game 2 here. Let's take a look at the opening 7. Well, Zhao's got an Ancient Grudge, which I guess
and a
like
Thoughtseize and a Bauble and what looks like either a discard spell or a. Okay, so Zhao's gonna start with a Bauble, check his top card, choose whether or not he wants to fetch it away. And the question is, does he want to fetch it away? If he doesn't want to fetch it away, no, he's gonna shuffle.
Well, I mean,
it
so like you're definitely playing Thoughtseize, right?
Right.
So if you're definitely playing Thoughtseize,
it's better to just check your opponent.
You either check your opponent, or you can fetch first, then check what you're gonna get yourself for more
True.
information.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd be inclined to like check what my opponent's getting, just so like now I have 100% information if I'm Thoughtseizing here.
Right. Oh, true. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good little synergy. Yeah. So, Zhao with a Blood Crypt gonna go to 17, presumably down to 15 for this Thoughtseize. And yeah, we started another. So he has two baubles. He's gonna check himself again though.
And one of the things with the bauble, yeah, especially if you have 2, I would definitely look at your opponent.
Right.
Like this influences what you take, like by so much.
So it's a Fatal Push, 2 Sylvan Scryings, a Star, a Llanowar Wastes, and a Mine. Also a Relic of Progenitus.
Right. So like if your opponent had like another Fatal Push on top,
you wouldn't take the push.
You might still have to take the push.
What do you take here?
So it depends on what's in Zhao's hand, right? And this is tricky, right? Because like James has natural Tron. Well, excuse me, James does not have natural Tron. What I said, except the opposite, right?
Yes.
James has access to a symbol Tron on turn 4.
Right.
But Relic is also such a beating against like a Goyf draw.
So yeah, Zhao does. So we see here he does get to draw 2 cards off of both baubles. Yeah, Relic is quite good against the Goyf draw, and I imagine that. Okay, so no, James is going to start off with the sphere.
Yeah, I mean, I might have let off a Relic, and like
Sure.
just because like Relic you can like kind of just start chipping in, but
Yeah, chipping at the card types in the
chipping
yard.
at the graveyard, yeah.
Yeah, like if Zhao goes, like land, cycle, street wraith, traverse, like it's not great for you. But here Zhao does have the option to play a 1/1 Death Shadow should he fetch shock. And honestly, like I think he might want to just for the pressure.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden, like your shocks in hand, your shock lands in hand, that's effectively shock your opponent as well.
Yeah, shock your opponent next turn once you have lost Summoning Sickness.
Right.
But yeah, I think Zhao also has like a pretty land heavy hand here.
Yeah, which is a little bit unfortunate with this deck. This is certainly a deck that can function on like ideally 2 lands, but
Right.
you can certainly function off of 1.
Yeah, I mean, you also honestly though, like you might want the 3rd for your Kolaghan's commands and stuff. Like I don't think that's the
Yeah.
that's I think that Kolaghan's commands and Liliana are pretty good reasons, but 2 mana. Okay, Ancient Grudge.
Okay.
Pretty good because now this is interesting. So that's a chromatic sphere, and chromatic sphere, you get the draw as part of activating the ability, and with Star, it's a triggered ability when it's put into the graveyard. So if that had been a Star, James still would have drawn a card. As it is, he's just effectively 1-for-0'd himself. Also, this Ancient Grudge is like if James does play a Relic and then for whatever reason taps mana for something else, like maybe the Star that he has in hand, Zhao can flash back the Grudge, kill the Relic, and preserve his graveyard.
Right.
Which is already Delirium is on.
So I'm a little surprised by this play. Going back to what we said earlier, like Xiao's very much the aggressor in this matchup. So if Xiao had the option to do literally anything else, I would have chosen literally anything else, right?
Sure. Maybe he doesn't want to play a 1/1 Death Shadow into a Brutality.
Yeah, but like we saw last game, it's so risky to try to Brutality a Death Shadow, right? Because you're likely to just get savagely blown out.
That's true. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Also, this lets James know to play around the flashback of the Ancient Grudge.
Yeah, but if he has to leave up the mana, like, that's totally fine.
Yeah. I mean, like, one thing here I would have probably done is, if James doesn't have another play,
if he plays the Relic, I think you just grudge it, play a Shockland, and play the Death Shadow.
I think I would have preferred the Grudge over the Star.
The Relic over the Star, not the...
Excuse me, I said Grudge.
I think Relic over Star is better, too.
Right.
Kolaghan's command the draw here for Zhao. He does have the lands in hand to eventually cast it.
Okay.
So I think he'll probably shock here, put himself to 10, play Shadow, do stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, shock to 10. Death Shadow is a 3/3. I believe he will be deploying it here.
Yeah, this also has the benefit of allowing you to, if James...
Does he have 2? Might have 2.
Oh, then I definitely run out both.
Yeah.
Run out both, leave up green for Ancient Grudge.
Yeah, he might also have another discard spell. I couldn't tell if it was an Inquisition or a Shadow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he can pretty much do most of it, if not all of it.
Oh wait, is that a foam there, on the right? Yes, it's hard to tell, and I'm also leaning to try to see a monitor, but, okay, what's he got? 2 mana, red. Okay, Shadow. Okay, he needs to tap differently.
So we need to tap a little bit differently there.
Go.
We'll go ahead and let them know. I don't think it'll be a terribly big deal.
I don't think it's gonna matter, but you should tell him that black mana needs to cast Death Shadow. Go fast. Dan's gonna hop out of the booth for a moment, just to rectify this tapping error. Those Death Shadows are 3/3s. Potentially becoming much bigger next turn. Zhao can go kill, if he has Street Wraiths, if he has Tarfires for himself again. And yeah, so Dan out there correcting the errors. And yeah, so now James, he's a little, like, I don't know if his hand has the big beefy threats that we saw last time. Like, he definitely is going to have Tron. The question is he going to be able to do anything with it? And so this is a start. He'll sacrifice a star, draw a card, probably making some green mana, draws another relic, plays a tower, and plays Sylvan Scrying. Okay. So he's going to go get another land, but honestly at this point James just needs to draw a threat. He has so much mana.
Yes. So he's got a backup Sylvan Scrying in hand.
Yeah.
Multiple relics.
So it is a Fulminator for Zhao, so I think you go like attack, next turn you go like attack, kill your tower.
Yes, the Fulminator is an incredible draw because it just buys you...
It's another turn.
It's literally entire other turn.
It's just Time Walk, yeah.
Yeah, because James, he's not doing anything until he assembles Tron.
The other thing is James can't play Relic into this because it'll just get killed.
Yeah.
I mean, although he's not, super worried about Relic, but, yeah, so now... Oh, don't want to give away the Fulminator there, but this is an attack for 6.
Yeah, Zhao flashes the Fulminator.
I mean, we're pretty sure it's coming down. James will go to 14. And yeah, I mean, Fulminator your tower, land for turn. Thinks about it, but I think I Fulminator not close.
Fulminator not close. Leave up green for Ancient Grudge.
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get to leave up green too. Like how great is that?
Yeah, the important thing here is don't be fancy. Nothing fancy.
Just play your cards.
Yeah. I would definitely leave up the Stomping Ground instead of the Overgrown. You're not representing anything with black. But you are with red, because you got a Tarfire.
Yeah. Sack this. Yeah, so this might, assuming James doesn't draw, assuming James doesn't, draw an Ugin, this will give Zhao, I think, what he needs to close the game out. But, again, Tron ever so dangerous off the top of the deck.
Yeah, so these are currently 3/3. Zhao needs to do 4 damage to himself. Is possible if he draws a fetch land, because he does have a K command in hand.
He can K command himself, and I don't hate shock myself, make you discard, right? Like that just gives you, that's 4 extra damage.
I'm a little less excited by that play if
you might shock yourself, return Fulminator.
Return to Fulminator, right?
Yeah.
I think shock yourself is certainly one of those lines. But again, if Zhao draws a
fetch land,
just win the game on the spot.
Yeah, and this is what makes the deck so powerful is and especially against matchups that aren't really interacting, like Tron, you're just...
Look how much pressure you're applying.
You just have free reign to just go crazy.
Right.
Normally in a Jund deck, your Geist would be big, but they wouldn't be that scary, right? It's not... so pass the turn back again.
Another live draw is Tarfire. Tarfire also wins the game.
Tarfire yourself, shock yourself, kill you. Yeah, no, I mean, we're very, the numbers line up decently here.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what's on top of Zhao's deck, and he'll take a draw. It's a fetch land.
It's a fetch land, so this should be lethal.
Put yourself to 7.
James also doesn't have the Llanowar Waste up, so, I mean, with 1 colorless,
Oh, wait, James should be at 13 as well, right? Because he did take a
He did take a pain.
Yeah.
Actually, he took 2 pains.
No, because he used the Star Mana last time.
Right.
Zhao will fetch here, knocking himself to 9, and then presumably to 7 afterwards, if I had to guess. I think that's a shock. Yeah, that's a shock land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the dual colored in the box.
And going through the motions, actually shuffling his deck.
Yeah.
I would just show the cards.
K command, turn your dude sideways, and go to game 3.
Oh man, it even presents it for a cut.
Yeah. Hey, courteous to the end.
Okay.
Bam.
So
do it to myself. You lose because my Death Shadows are enormous. So that's 16 damage against a 13-point life total.
Right.
Pretty strong. So Zhao able to apply a ton of...
14. Zhao chose to shock James.
Oh, sure. Okay.
A little less damage, but still gets the job done.
Your opponent still goes to less than 0, and they don't have a Phyrexian Unlife. So
you're right.
All right, so we're gonna throw 1-1 on the board here as we go to game 3. James, a little bit hampered by the Fulminator and stuff there. Also didn't actually see a threat that game, so even if James had been able to get to Tron, he would have had a very difficult time, he would have had, even if he had gotten to 8 mana or whatever, he didn't have anything to do with it.
Right. Shaw kept what I would consider a fairly slow hand, and ended up drawing gas.
I mean, I think he could have played his Death Shadow as a 1/1 on a different turn.
Yeah.
But he chose not to. So like that could have been, pressure earlier. But yeah, so no, we haven't seen any Tarmogoyfs yet. I mean, obviously they're in there. It's just like, it's interesting. Sometimes you're just like drawing the Death Shadow half of your deck, and that's really good.
Yeah, SO63, I believe it's a fairly stock list. And, with the Tron decks, the amount of creativity you are allowed is fairly limited.
That sounds mildly salty, but we'll leave it at that. I agree with you, though. You do have to have,
a lot of your slots are locked.
12
right?
Tron lands, 8 artifacts.
You have obviously you have the 12 Tron pieces, right? But you have a full set of Sylvan Scryings, a full set of Ancient Stirrings.
A full set of the Spheres and Stars.
Yep, so that's 8 cards. And then some number of Karn, Ulamog, Wormcoil, Ugin, Worldbreaker. Like some combination of that.
Yeah.
Then you have your removal in your color, right? So Path to Exile or Bolt or, Fatal Push. And then a couple of slots for, like utility cards. You might have
Relic.
O-Stone. Yeah, O-Stone's also. But you might have, a Relic in the main, which can be Savage against certain decks. You get some flexibility. Some lists have also included Walking Ballista in the main.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, so I mean, it is, there. I do agree, though, that if I had to think of the decks that have, like, a large number of just, like, locked slots, honestly, it's Tron, but it also might be Burn. Burn has a ton of locked slots. Like...
Well, but you have yes, but like Tron, you have different variations of it, right? Depending on what color.
Right. I mean, like the Burn list that people are playing now, it's like your flex is, do you play the 4 Searing Blades or like a Grim Lavamancer?
Right.
And like, and then it's 20 lands, however you choose to configure, plus, the 12 Burn creatures, plus whatever 60 minus that number of spells. It's like 27, 28.
Yeah, and I mean,
and it works.
Right. Well, you have that combination because those cards are good, right? And if you get cute with Burn, that's when you start losing. Right.
True. Like, as soon as you put, I don't know, Isochron Scepter in your Burn deck, I mean, think about it, though. Every turn you Boros Charm them?
But so much mana. So much mana.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's a ton of mana. You're paying, like, you're
paying 5 mana to get the first one.
No, you're paying 4. It's a 2.
Oh, 4 mana to
4 mana to get the first one, and then 2 mana for every one thereafter. Yes, I agree. I mean, it's also terrible off the top when you need it.
You're paying more than 4 mana for the first one because you're investing 2 cards into it.
That's true.
Right, like,
and then your Scepter gets Abrupt Decay and you lose the game, Rip.
Oh man.
Yeah, don't play Isochron Scepter and Burn, guys. It's a bad idea.
This sounds terrible.
Oh, I don't even own Isochron Scepter. I was just, that's something where, this is how you can get cute with Burn. Also cute with Burn, Browbeat, 3 mana, 5, draw 3, like, what are they going to do? They're probably going to, like, do whatever's best for them.
I mean, Burn has seen a lot of evolution over time, right? Like,
Inspiring Vantage, by the way, is nuts.
Yeah.
That's, like, the most recent, like, people took the Nicodles out of the main deck, and that opened up the mana base to play in, like, some number, usually 3 or 4 Inspiring Vantage. The red-white fast line from Kaladesh, I have been, like, building and goldfishing the Burn for, like, a month-ish now, and this card is insane.
Yeah, and like, it certainly helps you take a lot less damage. You
race so much better with Vantage because you don't, like, also I think it also is a function of not having to have green in the main deck. Trent Avera, who played the most recent SCG Open and got second, I believe, with Burn, has all his green is in the board for Destructive Revelry, and then actually Atarka's Command's in the board instead of in the main.
I mean,
Skullcrack 5 through 7.
Right. Atarka's Command is a lot less exciting if you're playing it as Skullcrack.
Right. Oh,
you really want to be playing it for Anthem and 3.
Yeah, and the Anthem in 3 is much less good when you don't also have Nicodles running around.
Right. All of a sudden, like, your board is empty a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. So back to the match though. Looks like James took a mulligan, went down to 6, and Scryed bottom. But he's got an Ancient Stirrings to start. He'll go to 19. And that'll help him repair this a little bit.
Yeah, so this is certainly one of the best possible starts for James.
What a cantrip.
Yeah, what a cantrip. Short of like natural Tron.
Sure.
Again, this is pricing James into a turn 4 Tron as opposed to turn 3, but he is on the play, so it's a little offset.
Yeah, it could be like if you were on the draw, obviously it might be a little bit slow, but he's on the play. So I see an Ugin and some lands. I see a map in there, maybe.
So Ugin obviously the best card.
He already has a Karn and an Ulamog though.
Sure. So in that case,
take a map.
Yeah, in that case, I'm looking for land, and that's effectively what
the trick here is to play map and not get it Ancient Grudged. Draw step from Zhao. He'll find a Sacred Foundry. So he'll sack a Bauble and check the top of his library. He'll cycle a Street Wraith because he wants to draw that card before he fetches. It's an Inquisition of Kozilek.
Yeah. See, I'm really not a fan of this line because you're not gaining any information for Bauble. Like,
right.
If you were going to draw that card regardless of what happened.
But and this Inquisition, unless you know.
Oh, actually, he has a
fetch.
fetch.
He has
Okay.
a fetch.
Yeah, so this is fine then. Yeah, he has got a fetch.
I think the discard here is actually quite good because he'll get to strip the map, and I don't know if James has Natural Tron. Like, I don't know if he has one of each of the 3 pieces or if he's got some duplicates in his hand. He does have, like, 3 or 4 Tron lands, though, so.
Okay, and I mean, like.
But I think if you're Zhao, you go fetch Inquisition, not close.
Xiao might have a line where he's able to play.
Shadow
on turn 1?
You'd have to do 8 damage to yourself, though, so I think that's, like, what, multiple Street Wraiths plus
Well, he's already done 2, right? And
Yep.
he's going to do 5, at least, with this fetch.
Yeah, this fetch will take him up to 5 this turn, so who out of 15? It is nice, he's playing a deck where, like, in a lot of decks, you're like, oh, do I need to fetch Shock here? Death Shadow, the answer is, like, pretty much, like, in a much higher percentage of the time, just, fetch Shock, like, don't care. Get me that dual land.
You also, you have a basic in this deck, which means that you don't just insta-lose to...
I think he has 2. I think I've seen a Swamp and a Forest.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The old Death Shadow deck
just lost to Ghost Quarter.
Instant loss to Blood Moon. Ghost Quarter is also strip mine.
Yeah, that's true.
List.
Okay, we're going to see a World Breaker. It looks like double tower. So World Breaker, Life from the Loam, map, and 2 towers, it looks like. Maybe I think that might be the mine. No, that's the mine that looks like a tower.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually huge that he gets to take the map here.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the map will prevent Natural Tron from happening.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see the Loam. I guess it's just like.
So I actually have talked to James about this. The Loam is great if you think your opponent is on like the Fulminator.
Sure.
Plan. But the problem is, the Fulminator line is much more accessible to a normal Jund deck. Like, this
is not like this deck sometimes struggles to get to that many lands.
Right, like even getting to 3 is somewhat difficult for the Death Shadow deck.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna see. I think so. Zhao here can play a Stomping Ground and Traverse for a Death Shadow, but won't have the ability to play it until he reduces his life total further. He does have Ancient Grudge in hand. He also might consider holding that up, but I don't like hold. I like traversing more.
Yeah, like we need to be mana efficient here, especially like. If I
Tron
knew
more
James
turns,
was going to tap out and play something where I could grudge, like maybe that's a little different.
Right.
But here, like we have to be mana efficient.
Yeah.
Also, if you traverse, you can traverse for a Goyf instead.
Oh, true.
And the Goyf will come down next turn.
No matter what. Yeah, that's true. I actually like that a little bit more. Zhao looking at probably the best printing of Ancient Grudge they've ever done. The one with the werewolf on it and the paragraph of flavor text. If there's anything a werewolf
this has to be up there for like worst
flavor text ever written.
Yeah, it's just so much, and all of it is unnecessary.
Zhao can double traverse. I think it's 2 traverses. Bam, traverse, get him. So yeah, there are exactly 4 cards, exactly 4 types: sorcery, creature, land, artifact, Mishra's Bauble, clutch.
Yeah, that's how about that?
How about that?
All right, yeah,
so he's gonna get a shadow with 1.
Yeah, Shao's gonna take 3 here from the fetch shock. Oh, excuse me,
he just played the Stomping Ground naturally.
Yeah,
he's gonna traverse again.
Okay.
Does he have a way to reduce his life further? That's the big question.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could traverse for a fetch land, but
you could.
I just want to traverse for Death Shadow though. Oh, wow. I'm a genius. I guess this also gets him a land drop for his Liliana. James draws, and I believe that is Tron.
Wow.
He drew a power plant.
James just
Yeah.
savage.
Zhao really needs to draw a Fulminator.
No,
here.
the Fulminator is not good. We got Loam in hand.
True. Extremely true. Oh, so he has a TBR in hand. Draw a step, another shadow. So fetch, play 2/3/3 shadows is great. But
Does James have a Ugin in hand?
No, I think he has
Oh,
a
no, he
Karn.
didn't take the Ugin.
He didn't
That's
take
right.
the
He took
Ugin.
the map instead.
Yeah, Loam, Big Daddy Snow realizing in the chat, Loam is pretty good right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, Loam is actually so good. Oh man, James is a genius.
I mean, but Loam is embarrassing if
yeah.
Shao never hits a Fulminator, right?
True.
It's just like,
It's like that's super dead.
what are we doing here?
I agree.
Okay, so Shao here. If I'm Shao here, I fetch Shock, play double Death Shadow,
And pray.
and pray.
Yeah.
Look, you're not beating the Ugin, right? In no world are you beating this Ugin. So if you're not beating Ugin, we don't play around it.
True. Good point, Dan.
You can't play this deck and have fear. This is a no fear allowed deck.
Wow. Dan, truly inspiring.
Inspiring words,
the
right?
minds of the world with this courage, with this talk of courage when playing Death Shadow. Woo-wee.
You have to be brave.
You do have to be brave. I think Zhao has a kill pretty quickly. Honestly, he just needs.
Look, you fetch Shock to 10.
Yeah.
You play double Death Shadow,
Yeah.
and then I mean we're only a couple cards away from like
Killing them.
killing it. You know, you get lucky with it like Street Wraith. Into Street Wraith, all of a sudden your opponent is just dead.
Yes, this is true. Looks like there's some sort of discussion going on, but Zhao probably going to go to 10 here.
I think from what I took from the hand gesturing, I think Shao didn't write down what James's hand was, and is trying to figure out like what do you
what's
have
going on.
Yeah,
Sure. All right, so yeah, Blood Crypt untapped.
because I think James played one of the Trump pieces that he didn't show.
I actually think I think it's the opposite. These are the Tron pieces that he's had.
Oh, the two that he had. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Oh, right, because he drew the power plant this turn.
Yes.
Well, that last turn.
Tap a land, play Death Shadow. Tap another land, play Death Shadow. Right, 2/3/3s hit the board, and they're only going to get bigger from here. Zhao's going to pass it back over to James.
So if
James does have the power plant.
All right, draws another Tron piece.
I mean, that gets him to Ulamog 2 turns from now.
So I think that's a Karn in hand.
I think, yeah, so he's Karn Worldbreaker, not Karn Ulamog. So, that's not unbeatable, actually.
Yeah, Ulamog would be unbeatable.
Ulamog is unbeatable. Karn, not unbeatable.
Well, the thing is, so you Karn one of the Death Shadows, right? Or you can try to get ahead and play Worldbreaker and hope that a 5/7 body is good.
True. But then Zhao plays Liliana. Or you do this.
Oh, this is also very good.
I mean, this does get grudged, and one of the tokens dies to the flashback. But yes, you're making him take a turn off to do it.
Yeah.
Another Traverse the Draw.
Ooh.
Grudge, Traverse for Shadow, Traverse for Street Wraith.
Traverse for fetch land.
Yeah. Fetch land gets him down, makes it the same size as Worm Coil, but it's Death Touch, so it doesn't matter. But it does you trade with it.
Traverse for fetch land,
Yeah.
fetch shock,
Yeah.
Ancient Grudge Worm Coil, Ancient Grudge is the Death Toucher, attack.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's awesome.
Alright, and then all of a sudden these are 6/6s?
There's 6/6s, and you do 3.
You do 3.
But it does clear the dangerous parts of the Worm Coil away.
It clears both halves of the Worm Coil. It puts you in very good position even against a Karn. You lose to Ugin, you lose to Ulamog. There's
But
nothing
when have
we
you
can do
ever
about that.
not lost to those cards?
Sometimes, if you have... Okay, yeah, you can't ever beat Ulamog, right? Like, I was like, if you have 3 threats, you're good, but no, it's like, it kills 2, blocks the other. So you
Yeah.
need 4 threats.
And you literally cannot beat Ugin.
Yeah, I think there's no reason to give James the 6th life here, especially with the Grudge in hand. I think Shao also has a Liliana in hand that he's debating, but, like, I want to preserve my Death Shadows, so I'm killing both Death Touches.
Traverse is insane because you get the fetch land with it, so you go Grudge your Worm Coil, and then I also hit my next land drop.
Right, and the Liliana is great, too, because if James's hand was, for example, Worldbreaker,
Yeah.
you can beat that.
Yeah, also, AK Cracker pointing out, why not just Grudge before damage here?
Because that allows him to go to blocks.
I mean, but I still think you're going to do more, right? like you still you get to you only get to hit for 3, but no, you get to hit for 6. You do hit him for 6.
Right.
Then the question is, but then he'll just like attack back in with the lifelinker, but then he doesn't have to block. Actually, I sort of like that almost a little bit better.
Sure.
So Zhao gonna traverse here.
Okay. I think traversing for a fetch is fine.
Okay.
So this line effectively is the same.
Yeah, I do, but it does what it does is it forces James to hold back the lifelinker as a blocker,
right?
Instead of attacking with it, so he won't gain the life right away. And then when you attack and he blocks with it, you can TBR your dude, and
go over the top
and kill it with first strike damage. Yeah, fetched, play it. Gonna cut here, and so Zhao go to 7. He'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have another Shockland?
Presumably, yes. I think there's 2 Overgrounds in this deck.
Okay. Okay, well, he's going to get the Godless Shrine.
He's going to get a Godless. Okay.
I mean, as long as he's careful about how he taps, he can do everything.
We got 4 different shocks?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. If those were gates, we'd be 4/10 of the way to Maze's End. Okay, so he is going to do this before attacks.
Yeah. So this doesn't really change anything.
It might.
It's effectively the same though. Like if you do this, you're pricing yourself into grudging now.
Yeah,
whereas
you have to
before
grudge
later.
You need to. Yeah, so now he needs to grudge the Death Toucher and just attack,
Yeah.
right?
So AK Cracker does have a valid point that like the end result is the same, but I think I like AK Cracker's line a little bit better.
Agreed. So that'll get out of there. We'll attack here. So this will do a net 3, right? Because those are 6/6s.
Right.
So James is like, well, block. Cool.
Yep. So James will take 3, go to 16.
Yep. So now James has to come up with a response to this pretty heavy pressure. TBR in hand, Kolaghan's Command, and Liliana in hand. James, if he plays Worldbreaker, just does lose.
Loses
right?
the game. Yes. I think
he can't even take him off double black. Yeah.
He has to play Karn. I think.
I think so too. Karn, one of the shadows.
Yeah. I think Karn. Yeah. This is not close. Ooh, he set aside Worldbreaker, man. Okay.
Oh, this game's over. He'll take a point of pain, go to 15. And that's it, right?
So let's do the math real quick. So these are both 6/6s, right?
Oh wait, no, Zhao can't kill him.
But he has a lot of live draws, which would kill him, right?
Sure, they're 6/6s. Zhao needs to lose 2 more life. Oh. Well, no, he can't do both. He has to either choose between.
So if he thought seizes, he goes to the 5.
Uh-huh.
All these are now 8/8s.
Yeah.
And then he can just TBR the one that's blocked.
Oh, you're right.
Because
okay,
then that's 24 damage. You minus 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Thoughtseize,
you go to 5.
Yeah.
Even without the Thoughtseize.
Oh, he didn't have a Karn in hand.
Oh,
okay, so this is much easier.
We thought James misplayed. He didn't misplay. He just didn't have a Karn.
Okay, so
Thoughtseize, attack for 16.
Yeah, if I was Shao, I'd just show him. I'll TBR the one you block.
Yeah. Do this. Do that.
All right, let's make sure we target the right one. He
does. No, he's thinking.
He's thinking about it.
No, Zhao. No. Wait a minute. I think he still wins. It's an 8/8 doing.
Oh, it's an 8/8. Yeah, that's fine.
Woo, we're fine. All right. So Zhao Tan on Death Shadow Jund, gonna get it 2-1 over James Lauerman on Green Black Tron. We thought it mattered, but it didn't matter.
No, it was.
It was academic.
Right.
Wait, does it work the other way? It's an 8/8 becomes a 16.
It's 24 damage. 24 minus 7.
Yeah.
So we get it for 17 as opposed to 16.
Okay. It's 1 more damage.
And you kill the Worldbreaker.
I mean, you kill it with your 8/8.
Well, you kill it with first strike damage.
Sure, but it doesn't have Death Touch.
Yes, but like
it's about irrelevant. It's about sending a message.
It's about the message.
Okay.
The message is what it's
It's about sending a message. Yeah, so Ancient Grudge. Pretty good.
It's been pretty good, yeah.
The inbuilt 2-for-1. Good at killing things that have worm coil.
Life from the Loam. Not so great.
Life from the Loam, I think, is designed for a more grindy game than James was playing. I could totally see Loam coming in against like Todd Stevens' like Ghost Quarter you every time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's amazing. Not close. It's great, but it's against this. you're not worried about dying to their Fulminator stuff. You're worried about dying to their, like, nonsensical 8/8s for one.
I do not want to bring a life from the loam against anyone who is TBRing me.
True.
Just you know, as a rule of thumb, right? Like,
let's think about that. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. It's a good decision to make.
It's just like you're fighting two different battles, right?
Yeah.
The life from the loam lets you grind. These decks have no interest in grinding. If you've gotten to the point where you're grinding, you have won the game already.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I 100% agree.
Especially, like, any creature in Shadow's deck, aside from Fulminator, they're always, like, 5/5s. Like, at minimum, like, 5/6, right?
Yeah.
If not bigger.
Yeah, they're big. So, yeah, looking at... we're going to throw it back up to the booth just for a second. So...
Looks like we've got about a minute left in the round.
Yeah.
So, why don't we actually cut to a quick break, grab some water, and...
3 minutes?
3 minutes sounds good.
3 minutes. All right. We're going to throw it to a 3-minute break. We will be right back before the timer runs out with Wednesday Night Modern at MTGCardMarket. We'll be right back, folks. Stick with us. 3 minutes.
Big Tobacco must love diversity. They love it so much that here in D.C., they advertise up to 10 times more in black neighborhoods than in other neighborhoods.
10.
10 times! How is that okay? Big Tobacco is really trying to make friends with black folks. I see you. So much that in the past, Big Tobacco called us a market priority. It's not a coincidence. It's profiling. Don't let it go unseen. Enlist at thetruth.com. Be the generation that ends smoking.
Blind devotion, empty notion.
And we're back with Wednesday Night Modern here at MTG Card Market. Time was called in the round. Some players are finishing up in turns right now. But yeah, interesting first round there, seeing, one of the sort of the new bogeyman of the format on display.
Sorry, Bogeyman?
Yeah, bogeyman. Bogey man.
It's Boogeyman.
Bogeyman is...
In no world is it ever Bogeyman.
It's okay. So there is a difference between the English and the British spellings. In the English, it usually is boogeyman. Yeah, but
I believe we were speaking English.
Okay, you know what I mean, Dan. But anyways, the new boogeyman of the format, taking down sort of an old contender with Tron.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why the deck is being played now. It's because you're playing an aggressive enough deck where you can
you can beat the big mana.
You can beat the big mana, and you're playing you've got traverses and stuff, so you can grind a little bit against the Farah games too.
Ooh, pairings.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So
give us a minute while we figure out who we're gonna.
Yeah, this is Grixis, and this is, I think, Nightfall. Maybe usually, let's do that. All right. Dan's going to hop out of the booth and get us a match. I'm going to kick it down to the play overlay to start resetting things. So, yeah, we will be underway shortly. In terms of events, we didn't really have any modern events this weekend, but we did have we do have upcoming an interesting format. Team Unified Modern in San Antonio. And so for those of you unfamiliar with it, Unified Modern is you build 3 modern decks. None of them can contain the same cards, and you and your team play them side by side against 3 other people who are playing side by side. So the trick is, you can't play 2 Bolt decks. You can't play 2 Path decks. What decks do you play in the modern format that don't have any overlapping 3 cards? So there are a couple teams from Card Market going. The one that I know is playing, so Zhao is on it. So he's probably playing Death Shadow Jund. We have, and then one of their other players will be playing Jeskai Control, and the third is playing like a mono green Nykthos ramp sort of deal. It's pretty, so they've set it up so that everyone has the right fetch lands, everyone has the right shock lands, and yeah, it should be a really interesting weekend to see, how people innovate in a format where you have to build for 3 decks instead of just the one. So Dan,
we're talking about San Antonio.
We are talking about San Antonio. Who are we watching first, though?
We are watching Vincent play against Isaac. This is not Adenolfi.
This is Jacqueline. Yep.
Yes.
All right. So, oops, I accidentally named Isaac. All right, so Isaac has the Kibler playmat. So we'll go with on the left, and Vincent.
And do you know what they're playing off the top of your head?
Don't we always ask this question about Vincent, and then he's always playing Nightfall? I feel like we
you're correct.
I feel like we do this once a week.
But Isaac, what is he on?
So Isaac, I walked by and I saw Grixis cards.
Okay. Because Isaac has played a variety of decks. He's played Elves. He's played
Eldrazi Taxes.
Yeah.
Grixis Control. Delver?
Question mark?
We'll see. But when I walked by him, he was jamming Grixis against Grixis with someone. So I'm gonna assume that this is also that he wasn't just playing with someone else's deck.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay. I didn't see what he had in there, but I think he might. I don't think it was Grixis cards. Show us Isaac. Is that okay? I lied. He's on Eldrazi.
Yeah, that was the thought knot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so most likely Bant Eldrazi then.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have Bant Eldrazi versus Nightfall. Interesting thing what we presume is Nightfall. Interesting thing with Nightfall is you make enormous Knight of the Reliquaries, and Eldrazi's like, how do I deal with this?
It's true. Path to Exile. Hope you get there.
Also Displacer.
Displacer
And Drowner, quite good. That's the thing with Displacer, right? Is it hits the board, and it stays on the board, and it just takes the game over. Mm-hmm. It makes combat impossible. It can blink your Drowners. It can blink your Thought Knots for extra Thoughtseize goodness.
It's only bad if your opponent has creatures with good ETBs.
True. So, like, against Mtgcard, probably not the card you're going to be super excited to be blinking stuff with, but you can tap things.
Sure.
So, like...
And that's super relevant because, like, you know, it even beats, like, the combo.
Yeah, you just blink their Kiki in response to the resto.
Exactly. And then
pretty
like,
gross.
Still takes 6, but, you know.
I mean, the 6 is
less
than infinity, yeah. Man, I was at a GP and my opponent, you know, who was playing like an Eldrazi Taxes deck with like Aether Vial and stuff, figured out, like, I killed him with the combo in the first game with a Displacer on the board, and then figured out in the second game that it worked, and was like, oh, I was like, yeah, dude, and then I proceeded to, you know, bolt the Displacer and kill him anyways, but...
Was this GP Detroit way back when?
No, this was Indy. GP Indy, the most recent one.
Oh,
like
okay, sure.
this was like Eldrazi Taxes. It wasn't GP Blue White Eldrazi.
Oh, it wasn't the Eldrazi Winter.
That was like a great GP for every reason except the Magic. Like I had a great weekend. I hung out with my friends. I won a side event, but also the main event was just like, oh my god, like literally.
The main event was amazing because I borrowed Banned Eldrazi from not Banned Eldrazi. It was Blue White Eldrazi back then. I borrowed Blue White Eldrazi from someone. And cashed the only 2 tournaments I ever played with it. It was great.
All right, Dan. Whatever you say. This is going to be a Displacer on turn 2, as we have dueling mana dorks for these two guys. Vincent looking at a Collected Company in hand. That's a big way that he sort of fights in these games. You know, it gives him some decent card advantage, gets him a lot of stuff.
No, with the Nightfall deck, the creatures you can get with the Coco are a little less utility-based. Right. Because you're really looking to hit like double Knight. Like that's your dream hit. Whereas you know in the combo version, maybe you want to hit like Kitchen Finks Viscera Seer or something.
Absolutely.
Like that.
And unfortunately for Vincent here, he doesn't have the ability to play this Hierarch and also play a Voice of Resurgence. Yeah. Which is, you know, if he has like a fetch land there, he can also play a Voice and really develop his board. But as it is, you know, it's all right. Isaac does have mana acceleration with the bird, but I don't think he has a Thought Knot, so he's going to have to just play a land and go to his next turn. Yeah. This is an attack for 3, though. You know, chip in some damage, bring Vincent to 17.
Right, so obviously a very good start from Isaac, but if this is all he has, which it is what it appears to be,
he has a Smasher and a Drowner.
Yeah, which, I mean, this is certainly not exciting.
Oh, and Vincent does manage to be a little bit efficient with the mana, though. He does Path at the Displacer, so not wasting that white.
Kind of a necessary thing to do against this deck,
absolutely.
especially if you're ever going to try to like, especially if you plan
cannot
on going late.
Race it. You cannot like play into the late game against an active Displacer. It's just too good.
But this does mean that Isaac will have access to
Smasher.
6 mana, so we're talking Drowner mana next turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might just jam Smasher though. Vincent showing us a hand: Coco, Voice, Path, Spellqueller.
All good cards.
Spellqueller not super good. I think his most likely utility here is going to be to get pitched to the Smasher trigger.
Right. The Queller a lot better if he was on the play.
True.
Right, because then we could quell like the Displacer.
That's it. That's an insane tempo play. Yeah. Draws a bird.
As it turns out, he wouldn't have been able to because the lands wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah, this is true.
Right, because
he'll just pass it back. Isaac will fetch to 19.
Right. Man, 4 mana, nothing to do? How unlucky.
Yeah, dude, there's nothing that this deck does for
How
4
unlucky.
Oh, poor Nightfall players these days. Just nothing to do on 4 mana.
Back when Coco was in Standard, I certainly said that a lot. Yeah, they passed with 4 open mana. I was like, wow.
Well, and you didn't play Coco decks, so...
I did not.
You played, like, Abzan.
I played a Coco deck once.
How'd it go?
I cashed. Because Coco was great.
Of course.
Just borrowed someone else's deck because I didn't day 2, like an SCG or something, and then it was like...
Cash a classic.
Yeah.
Alright. So, here this turn, Isaac has Ancient Stirrings and Smasher.
Okay. If he has a land, he can do both.
He does have a land.
Yeah, Isaac can be greedy and...
Go for the Temple here?
Yeah.
I like it. But I think he has enough lands that he just wants to dig.
I think he just wants to hit
dig for a threat. Hit Thought Knot, hit Smasher again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he hit a Smasher. 5 cards deep is so much.
The weird thing in this matchup is Smasher like can be out.
Sometimes it gets outsized, yeah.
Right.
but not now. I think Vincent will probably Coco.
Yeah.
Okay, wham, wham, wham.
Also, when you Ancient Stories for a Smasher, they don't know you never had it.
Oh, yeah, no, the backup Smasher is really... Like, honestly, the first Smasher you can deal with. It's the second Smasher that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, Vincent, of course, gonna collected company here.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good hits here, right? Night of the Reliquary is not quite good enough, but Reflector Mage is good. Even something like, if he's running main deck Kitchen Finks, ooh. Well, it's not a complete whiff.
But it's close.
But that's about as close as you get to a complete whiff.
One bird, all that he sees there. That's pretty
4
unfortunate.
mana Birds of Paradise.
Yeah, he does have a path to deal with this Smasher. I think he drew a Pride Mage. The question is, like, I think you want to play Voice here, right?
I think you have to play Voice. Like, you're pressed into, like, you
I mean,
need to
you can
develop.
play Voice and Pride Mage.
But then you can't play Path.
True.
Right.
Yeah, they both cost
Yeah,
green white.
this Keswick
So
Wolfriend
maybe
is
you
doing
play-
a number on your...
Maybe you play just Voice, hold up Path, right? Or Birds.
Birds and Voice?
Birds and Voice seems fine, too.
Yeah.
And then you just, like, pitch the... I mean, this is also... Notably, this is... Oh, so he's just going to say go here.
So he's going to leave up Spell Queller and...
Yeah, ooh, wow, and great choice to leave up Spell Queller, actually. Just Spell Queller or Path, not both.
Right. So if I'm Isaac,
Oh, wait, no. He can do both. He has a Wolf Run for the generic on Queller.
Right. So Isaac has 2 lines that are reasonable here.
Mm-hmm.
He can either play the second Reality Smasher, which I think would be my preferred play.
Or just play Drowner.
Or play Drowner.
Okay. Yeah, Drowner's quite good.
Yeah, so the pre-combat Drowner will allow him to tap things if Vincent had, for example, another Coco here.
Yeah.
So you can prevent, like, profitable blocks.
Agreed.
So, yeah, this line is fine. Especially the Reality Smasher is going to be just as good next turn.
Isaac says trigger. So yeah, pitch the Pride Mage. Not close.
Yeah.
That gets exiled.
What else is hit? It's a Spell Queller and that's it, right?
It's a Spell Queller and a Voice.
A Voice. Okay,
The
sure.
Voice is pretty good.
Yes, the Voice definitely does not get pitched.
Because if once the Voice, yeah, and so Vincent end of turn going to play the Queller. The Queller also attacks for 4. So, like...
Yeah, but Isaac attacks for 10.
True. Yeah,
Yeah,
he does
right.
have another thing.
The math doesn't quite work out in your
Right.
favor in that regard.
All right. So we'll just run the Voice out here.
Okay.
Notably, Vincent was 6 mana in play, but only 2 lands.
So one thing that Vincent can start doing after this is that it. Oh no, that's a Keswick, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a Gavany.
Oh, if it was a
Gavany, we
nuts.
would be in the game.
As
being
it
a
is.
Keswick, that's
Also, this is an attack for 4 with the Queller.
yeah. I mean,
Isaac going to go to 15.
so we do have a lot of mana, so we can start Kessicking for a little bit, but like we're about to take a lot of damage.
It's only Kessig for like 3, right?
Yeah, which is not nothing.
It's not. I agree. It's not nothing. The question. So Isaac has a
No,
thought.
it's red green
Red green tap X.
Right.
So yeah. So it's
Is a Keswick for 3.
Yeah.
So I mean the spell clock could attack for 7.
Sure.
If we draw another land and we're on 2-turn clock.
Agreed. This is going to be a Thought Knot Seer. And in response,
Ooh, okay.
second Queller. That's pretty good.
That's pretty, especially since Isaac could have Ren
Smasher
out instead.
I like the Smasher there. I think if you know the deck is playing Queller, you don't try to mess with that funky juju.
Well, it's just the Thought Knot's not going to attack very well.
Oh, okay. Smasher anyways.
Oh, sure. Sack the sides. We can do both.
Yeah, but I think you just throw the Voice in front of this, right? Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I don't like this. You might be dead.
I
This is like, wow, block not close. Go to 7? How big is the Voice token, Dan?
It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7/7. Are you just dead? I think we're dead here.
If you Kessig off all your dorks, you are. Because it's 4 plus 7 is 11. Oh, maybe we're not dead. Let's see. Maybe he needed to draw land.
Right, because you wolf run for 3, so we're exactly 1 short right now.
Oh, that's so sad. So yeah, it is a wow. Isaac playing dangerously with death.
Yeah, I mean, so we don't have to go full YOLO, right? We can attack and like leave back a dork to block. Let's not forget like, there's no reason to make this. Ooh, what? Okay, so Vincent wants to leave up a blocker. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, if you attack with 2 spell Quellers, that's the same as attacking with 1 Queller.
I agree. Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
I don't think you care about trading now. I think you want to just hit him for. If you attack with just the token, right? That's 9.
Yeah.
And you can Wolf Run for like 2.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Isaac will be at 4 here. Now he's dead in the air.
I do think missing that you just attack with the Queller that's holding the Thought Knot. Oh, so he is going to Wolf... Oh, no, he's not. He's got a click. Oh, no, it's a retreat. Okay. It's just a retreat to Quorham.
But, I mean, it's like the retreat doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree. So I think if you attack with just the Queller that's holding the Thought Knot, you can leave the other one back as a blocker.
So the line I think I prefer, attack with a voice token, Wolf Run for 2, put your opponent at 4.
Yeah.
Now he's
dead in the air to Queller.
Almost dead in the air to Queller, right? Because he has the blocker.
Eldrazi Sky Spawner is going to be the draw here for Isaac. I don't think Isaac can attack.
No, I don't think he can either. The Sky Spawner is good because he can prevent, like...
This voice token is out of control.
Token, yeah.
Like, another creature, and I mean, it's already the biggest thing on the board, right? And this is what you were saying, it's like sometimes Eldrazi get outclassed. This voice token is enormous.
We have been outclassed.
Yeah.
So we'll pull up Retreat to Coral Home here.
Sure.
Just because, the Scry, like, it does things other than untap creatures.
Importantly, it taps creatures, though.
Right.
Oh, so, wait a minute. So now what's going to happen is... okay, buy back Ancient Stirrings, sure. Okay, cast Ancient Stirrings, also fine. I really like play Sky Spawner because that gets you a Scion that you can sack to the Drowner to tap down this token and maybe push some damage. Also, think about, like... Yeah, no, I think that's, like, that might be the play that I like the most. I don't know. Depends on what he hits on the Stirrings.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting very close to being, like, just overrun out of the game, right? Let's not forget, Kessick also gives Trample.
Yeah, it depends on what Isaac decides to leave back and block with, right? He'll get a Temple.
Okay.
Does he have another Smasher? No, wait. He's played the bonus Smasher that he had. So yeah, this is just like play. See, Isaac needs a voice token of his own practically. Yeah. So tap 2 lands.
So we do have another Drowner in hand.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like this pass here because.
Are you dead?
No, we're not dead here. I guess this pass is necessary because we have to tap down this voice token.
Yeah. This voice token's way too
big. But we can also just chump this.
Also, if Vincent has a fetch land, it doesn't matter if the token gets tapped because he can untap it at instant speed.
Right.
Which is kind of nice about the retreat. It does sort of let you play a little bit against the Drowner if you have the right lands.
Yeah, Isaac has a Drowner in hand as well, so we're gonna be tapping these for days.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just attack with 1, right?
Just attack with 1 and overrun it. And a Wolf Run it.
For how much?
At this point, I think we want to do...
This is an attack for 4.
Yeah.
Is he dead on the crackback, though? Isaac goes to 7.
Yeah, so Vincent has 4 blockers. So Isaac will not be able to tap him out. The fetch land is pretty good.
Yeah, that's the... Oh, wow. So he can also tap down the Smasher on Isaac's... when it's time for Isaac to go to attacks. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's super good. Wow, yeah, that's amazing. And then, depending on how he gets away in these blocks here, he can Wolf Run one of the Spell Quellers for lethal. I guess there's flying over on Isaac's side with the Sky Spawner, but if he taps that, we'll see. Depends on what Vincent draws, I think. He is empty-handed. Oh, wait, no, Drowner's going to do a lot.
So, let's see. Vincent is currently presenting lethal on board.
With the Quellers plus the Overrun.
With any Queller.
Oh, right. Because, yeah, he can overrun it for a bunch and it gets trample. And can he get it to 8 power?
Yes, because it attacks as a 4/5 overrun for 4.
Oh, shoot.
So Isis is currently dead on board.
Yeah, but he needs to figure out what he's doing with his with his Scions, right? Because he either has to hold them back and play defensively with them, or use them to
So I
tap his
think
opponent's
Isaac
team.
had a window to win this game,
Yeah.
but he had to. He missed a couple of attacks,
Sure, I agree.
and he had, I think, to.
You needed to force him
aggressively
to chump some of these mana dorks.
Right. We've gotten to the point where it's too little now.
Agreed. So, Isaac thinking hard about this. So, if you have this Scions, right, do you just try to tap the voice token, tap it twice, and then just swing? I mean, you think you... Because the thing is, if you kill the dorks, you don't get overrun to death. And you can chump the...
No, but then you just...
No, you chump the voice, too.
Well, then you're just down
Oh,
on board, right?
Yeah, you're
Let's
right,
not forget,
'cause the voice
you
is
won't
still
have
big.
this. You won't have a Scion to tap the token
Yeah.
next turn. So the only thing Vincent needs to remember is do not crack the fetch here. And then we have lethal.
Right.
Because we
Assuming
go
Isaac
we go
sacks.
to beginning in combat, right? Isaac has to tap both of these spell callers
He just
down.
passes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that's Isaac's only.
I think
line.
Vincent drew another fetch, too.
If Vincent drew another fetch, we just win the game, because you play the
tap everything.
No, you play a fetch, you tap down Sky Spawner. You go to
Yeah.
beginning of combat, Isaac can't tap down both your Quellers and then prevent the untap from fetching.
Yeah.
And then once you have
There is
that...
a bird to block in the air, though.
It doesn't matter, though, right? Because
Oh,
the
the
second
overrun,
fetch
yeah.
will be able to tap that. Also, remember, Isaac's at 7. We're going to have an 8-9. So we only have to tap one of these flying blockers.
True.
And we have enough for that.
Yeah. This is... I think Vincent drew a Misty, but I'm not positive. Oh, I'm so...
It is a Misty. Okay, so, yeah I think
so
Vincent
tap your
sees the
Sky
line.
Spawner.
But Vincent has forgotten about the Exalted the last couple of turns. So.
I agree. So Isaac goes, tap these
Okay.
in the beginning of combat.
So
Now Vincent presumably will fetch, right?
Vincent should
If he
fetch.
double fetches, I think he wins.
Doesn't even do double fetch. Single fetch is good.
Yeah. Yeah, Isaac just presenting his board a little bit differently. Vincent making sure.
Vincent may have forgotten that he can untap his creatures here.
Yeah. That's
Because
fine.
Vincent just has lethal on board right now.
In the air with the Quellers, yeah.
In the air with one Queller.
Right.
Because you attack as a...
Yeah. Here's an attack, double exalted trigger. This voice is a 9/9.
It's a 9/9, yes.
Yeah, but oh wait, if he just overruns this, it depends on what Isaac blocks.
No, because
with.
Isaac can just throw everything in front of this.
Yeah, actually Vincent then might lose.
So how much can we... Oh, we can't overrun for enough. So yes, Vincent put himself dead to a top deck smasher. So here, my block is, you put both drowners in front of it. Put both drowners in it. I bet you just kill both. You cannot put the reality
or
smasher in
triple
front.
blocking it.
If you put the reality smasher, you don't no longer have lethal draws.
Right, I agree. So yeah, triple block here. So I think you want to kill the smasher first, right?
You have to kill the smasher first. Yeah, so I think Isaac has given himself no outs to having lethal next turn.
You need to wolf run here too. You can't forget that.
You have to also wolf run, yes.
Just for one, but just enough to kill two points of you need to kill two of these creatures.
Yes, and
do some amount of damage to your opponent, right? Oh wow, okay, this is a lot. If you go too low, you do lose. Okay, so that's...
Well, don't forget Vince can untap his creatures.
Yeah. Crack fetch, go to 6. He's floating a bunch of mana here.
Vincent does not have enough mana to make this a lethal overrun.
Oh, absolutely not. It's a 9/9, right?
Yeah. That's 15. Yeah, that's
but
fine.
it's 15 toughness. He needs to get it to 22, right?
Yeah, that's a big ask. Like, yes, your fetch land produces effectively 2 mana, but like...
But still...
I think Vincent might be trying to make it a 15-15 to kill both.
But then... if he kills everything, but then he just, like, dies.
He still has lethal.
Yeah.
He still has lethal in hand.
The problem is he's at 5, so, like... And there's going to be 4 power that's able to attack him.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, Vincent took a very, very risky line.
This is quite risky.
So now he's dead to Smasher.
He's going to get a tap Temple Garden, untap 1 bird.
Yeah, so he's currently dead to Oh, not quite dead to Smasher. Now dead to Smasher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Charge up the wolf run, put it on the voice token. So, yeah, I don't know. So I think that, yeah, Vincent definitely did, I think, miss the, like, Exalted Queller's attacking.
Yeah, just an attack with a single spell Queller would have been lethal. As it stands, Vincent is completely tapped out. Isaac has 2 damage. He needs to find... No, he has 4
damage.
Oh.
He literally needs to find 1... He still needs to find 1 power.
Yes. I don't know what we can do to get 1 power.
Smasher.
Smasher's good. Smasher's obviously good.
Whoop! And he'll concede. He dies so that next turn he dies.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So that's going to do it. Vincent Giacalone does win that game. Goes up 1-0 on Nightfall over Eldrazi. I mean, both players, Daniel sort of shaking here, but both players, I think, were missing a few lines there.
Yeah. I think Isaac had a... Maybe not a winning line, but at least a better position line.
Sure.
Where if he aggressively attacks...
Force Vincent to chump his board.
He can force Vincent into very awkward situations. All of a sudden, like if Vincent loses a couple of those creatures...
The voice token is also smaller.
The voice token is also smaller. And then Vincent had the opportunity to have lethal in the air, just, on board. But took the line where, he saw, I was like, oh, I can 1 for 3 my opponent. Which normally is very good.
Yeah, but go to the skies, right? Just kill him?
Yeah. So what, Isaac had 2 draws left in his deck?
Smashers, yeah.
Yeah, Ancient Stirrings was also good.
He had 4 draws. He had 4 draws because he cast Stirrings.
I think he might have had enough. No, he didn't have enough mana where Displacer was good, right?
He had a lot of mana.
But Displacer would have to displace the Ewit to flashback the Ancient Stirrings to then play a Smasher. I don't think we had enough mana.
No, we didn't have enough mana to do that.
Yeah, that's a lot of mana. That's what?
That's
12. Yeah.
Whew.
Which sometimes will happen.
Sometimes that happens. Also, Displacer plus Ewit is really good.
Displacer and Ewit is it's a whole level of not fair.
It's how you win the mirror. You just have infinite paths.
Yeah, especially if what you're Ewitting is a path. Like, how do we lose?
I think it's impossible.
And if you play carefully, your opponent has to have 2 paths because they can't just path the Ewit. They have to path the Displacer first, and then the Ewit.
It's really messed up when you have 2 Displacers that can just blink each other.
Yeah, and you always, especially
when you have a lot of mana in the late game, you have 2 Displacers, like, they literally never die.
Correct.
You can also do stuff like Spellskite something, then blink the Spellskite.
And save it, yep.
Like...
I mean, I've certainly, I've been ensnaring bridges this way, where I just...
You just blink the Thought Knot, right?
Yeah, you blink the Drowner a bunch, so you have, like, a ton of Scions, and then you blink the Thought Knot until they draw land. And I was like, well, can you beat an army? An actual army of Scions.
The good old days of Blue-White Eldrazi, right, Dan?
This is also, I've won a game in the mirror by decking my opponent through a worship.
Just by blinking your Thought Knot until they draw the cards?
You blink your Drowner, like, a bajillion times, and all of a sudden you just deck them in 1 turn. Like, sack 120 Scions? You draw 40 cards?
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Normally I'd like to draw 40 cards, but not then.
It's a little less good when there's 39 cards in your library.
This is true.
Yeah.
That seems pretty good for the person not drawing those cards.
Right.
So we're gonna go to game 2 here. Nightfall up a game. We'll see if both of those, like, honestly, Nightfall's draw looked like a little bit hindered by the mana base and stuff. So if it functions even more smoothly than it did last game, right, I can definitely see it giving Isaac more trouble.
Right. I mean, let's not forget, like, what happened in this game. Vincent stumbled pretty mightily on mana, Coco'd and hit 1 birds.
Yeah, and still did fine.
And still was fine. Was fine off the back of the voice token.
Voice of Resurgence is really good. Voice of Resurgence also got a reprint, and they reprinted the token, which is important because after Voice of Resurgence, it was the 2nd most valuable card in Dragon's Maze.
Right. The reprinting has pushed Dragon's Maze, I think, into the
bottom 5
of EV.
Whoo-wee. That's some stuff right there.
Look, that's just... Dragon's Maze had a lot of cute cards.
Mm-hmm.
None of them very good.
Let's go look at... So I'm pulling up like the compilation of all the modern sets and their prices. So Dragon's Maze. There we go. Okay, yeah. So there's only, a lot of these sets have lots of cards on them. This is mtg.dawnglare.com. So Voice of Resurgence at $16 is like, TCG mid or whatever. So Voice of Resurgence at $16. Then we go down to Ral Zarek, the Planeswalker.
For those who want to introduce a bit of RNG into the game.
Yeah. After that, Master of Cruelties, very popular EDH card.
I was actually a little bit surprised that it never saw much standard play. Death Strike is very powerful. Right?
It does kill a lot of things.
It will kill everything. Deadbridge Chant saw a little bit of play in the Jund decks.
Yeah. But we can go back to how bad Dragon's Maze was in a second. We do have a game. Isaac is at 19 from an Ancient Stirrings.
Yes, absolutely. Both players keeping their opening 7. Ancient Stirrings,
good way to start your turn 1.
Yep.
Misty into a Hierarch for Vincent. Also, exactly what he wants to be doing. Probably going to get a shock.
I'd make the argument that
Yeah.
this is only the second best start. Tempo into Tempo is pretty good. But short of that, turn 2 Displacer, obviously excellent.
Absolutely. So Displacer comes down. Gonna go back over to Vincent. Not sure what's in his hand right now, but presumably he's trying to play something big and 3-droppy. If he has another fetch land, he can play a 4/4 Knight this turn, which is, you start making a big old Knight. He does have another fetch land. Does he have the Knight, though? Has a bunch of lands, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, Vincent didn't even see a Knight game 1.
Yeah. That card's really good. We've seen Vincent cast Eldritch Evolution to get that card before.
Yeah.
Here he will crack another fetch. Conveniently, life totals to 16. Gets a forest. Does tap 3 mana. Alrighty. What do you know?
A Knight.
I'm a prophet. Alright, so this is a 4/4. Isaac, I believe, does have a path in his hand, so you can get this out of the way at the cost of giving your opponent a land. But and I mean, obviously that's what's happening here. Yep. So path, go to 17.
Okay. So I mean, Isaac is trading.
3.
Yeah, Isaac is trading 3 damage for Vincent having an additional mana next turn.
Yep. Isaac is going to be able to play, it looks like, a Sky Spawner. Yep.
Okay, so
here we go.
This means that we have a mana dump now.
Yeah, we can blink the Sky Spawner if we really run out of things to do with ourselves. And it also does put, 6 power on board. Vincent does have to answer this in some way.
Yeah, 6 power on board. Also, if we don't have a 4th land in hand, still means we can play Reality Smasher next turn.
If we need the 4th land.
And then we can sack the Scion.
It's a Temple.
There's a Temple, yes.
Temple's a dumb card. Smasher is in hand for Isaac.
Oh, but it's fine. Everything's fine. We have a Cavern in hand and the Smasher already.
And the Smasher. Dude,
what could go wrong?
Good question. Jeez. Yeah, this is a very aggressive and fast curve out from Isaac. I sort of worry if he falters it, if Vincent deals with it, he might be in trouble, but we haven't seen that Vincent has what it takes to deal with it yet. He's really, he needs, a Coco would be good here.
Yeah. It's just, against...
okay.
Second Knight's pretty good.
That's pretty good. The fact that Knight can become a 5/5 with that fetch land, quite excellent.
Yeah, I mean,
it still doesn't block Smasher.
Right, if I'm Isaac, I'm not,
What if you just blink your Knight and attack? How are you afraid?
Yeah, if you blink the Knight, you can attack for 6.
Yes.
You can also just trade the Smasher for the Knight.
Yeah, but just blink it and attack for 6.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he has double Smasher. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I also don't hate just if you play Smasher, you play Smasher.
You still can get in for 2 in the air, right?
You get in for 2 in the air. If he has a path, sure. I guess, but Displacer's so good here. Like it's almost just another must path threat.
Right. You can also just not attack. Right. It's a hit for 2 in the air. Play Smasher.
Sure.
The only problem...
Then the knight outsizes it though.
Sure, but like if you just play Smasher here, we can blink next turn and attack with everything.
And then win the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, land here. Thinking about what he wants to do. So this looks like it's a path on the Displacer.
Okay, so
Vincent's like, please.
So Vincent, unless
did Isaac pass the turn?
Yeah, so Vincent doesn't have an opportunity to do this. You can't respond to playing a land.
I agree. That's how that works. I don't know. Maybe they went to a different phase. It's unclear. Maybe this is the end of combat. Blink the Sky Spawner for value. Does this set you back a little too much on tempo, though?
I think it does. I would certainly have liked to run out the... Is that a second path?
No.
Oh.
No, you will regret this decision. Those paths, I don't think you can blow one on a blinked Sky Spawner.
Well, so...
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, so this is 1, 2,
He's got
3,
8,
4,
9
5.
mana, right?
Is it 9?
Well, so it's
4,
5.
5.
It's 5 in there, and then 6, 7, 8 plus land drop 9 next turn. So if he draws a temple, he plays 2 smashers and it just attacks. Jesus. The knight is a 5/5 attacking as a 6/6 now.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That double path seemed pretty aggressive.
Well, Isaac did play the land for turn, right? He played the Windswept.
Yeah.
I think the path on the Sky Spawner was a little bit aggressive.
Oh, for sure.
Especially like...
It comes tapped, like whatever, dude.
All you're doing is preventing Isaac from getting a extra Scion.
Right.
You traded a path for...
A Scion.
Effectively a Scion.
Right.
And the 2/1 body in air, which is not,
It's not...
irrelevant,
but it's also not that relevant.
Yeah.
So Vincent's best play here is to attack and then play a second knight. Otherwise, he might have some problems.
Yes.
So he's got 6 damage coming in. Isaac's like, whatever, bruh. Block. It's fine.
Yeah, no, this is fine.
So then I think Vincent should probably try to make a land drop here and swing it back, right? I mean, maybe he has like a third path.
So the only scary...
I don't think Vincent made a land drop.
Yeah, so the only scary part
Wait,
here
hold on. Why didn't he play a land this turn? He could have played a fetch land and made the, and grown the knight more.
Did he not play land?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I think he might. I think he's rubbing his head like he's forgotten. Okay.
Okay. I mean, won't really matter. We're not... He's not, like, hurting.
So, yeah. 1... So that's 5. Okay, so Isaac doesn't have double smasher, even if he draws a temple.
Not with the Scion. Not with Champion the Scion.
Mm-hmm. We were close, though.
Yeah.
To living the dream of winning the game on the spot. Draws another Sky Spawner. I think he can he do that plus a smasher?
Yes, we have 8 here.
Oh, if he makes a land drop.
If he makes a land... I believe he has a Cavern in hand.
Oh, right, yeah, no, we've seen the Cavern, so yeah, this is for sure.
Yeah. So it's a little scary attacking here, because, if Vincent Coco's into, if Vincent Coco's in a night, like, this feels ridiculously bad.
Do it. Coco in a night, I dare... Oh...
That's also fine.
Oh.
That's also fine.
Oh, boy. That is an escalated Blessed Alliance.
You know the funny part? He could choose...
Untap my knight.
Untap my knight. Block. He shouldn't, because like that does get wrecked by a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Oh, he does.
He's gonna sack one of his lands and make the knight even bigger. Oh, wait. What did he really choose life? I guess Isaac doesn't have white. Okay, so Isaac doesn't have path.
Sure, but that's so risky.
Well, but wait, what are you afraid of?
Dismember?
I don't know how many dismember. I guess you have to.
It's a reasonable card that could run, right?
Sure.
It's certainly not one that gets played very much anymore. Ooh. But oh man.
No wait, but your knight's
enormous.
Your knight is the knight's only
But it's not dismember proof.
It wasn't. Yeah, because when you went to activate it, it would have been a 5/5.
Or he's blocking with it. It would need to be a 11-11 to survive.
True.
Right? We're nowhere close to that.
Ooh. Well, this game turned around. That Blessed Alliance, look, dude. Vincent knows no fear.
No fear.
No fear whatsoever.
We play with no fear and not punished.
Not punished whatsoever either. Draw step.
I mean, admittedly,
He draw. Okay, he drew a tireless tracker.
I mean, so admittedly,
Dude, we're about to get some value. He's got a fetch land. He's got some clues. Oh man. We're gonna get some cards. We're gonna attack for a literal billion damage with this knight. Like Isaac, you have to chump. Oh man. So yeah, gonna fetch here. Gonna get another clue. So now Vincent is simultaneously pressuring Isaac more and also securing the late game by having just like card draw.
Correct.
And also growing the knight.
These are all things that are good.
Lands that fetch die. And lands that die grow the knight.
Yeah. So Vincent has tapped himself out of like representing anything but path right now.
Whatever, dude. You have a huge Knight of the Reliquary. You're not afraid?
I mean, you're not
Have
wrong.
you ever been afraid in your life? No, didn't think so.
So Vincent has, I think, so if Vincent attacks, he's only killing a Scion.
Yes.
Which is fine. He could also have taken that turn off and knighted for a Wolf Run. And then have super lethal next turn.
Super lethal's a good phrase, and I like that you use it. This is another smasher from Isaac. I think Vincent might have drawn a path off the tracker, though, so...
I mean, that'd be pretty dirty, considering he's already run out 2, and he only had...
This knight is huge. There's like 5, 6 lands. Looks like 5, maybe? 5 lands, so the knight's like a 7/7, attacks as an 8/8.
Vincent pulling the Blessed Alliance to the front to remind Isaac of what happened.
Dude, it's about sending a message. Oh, discard Blessed Alliance to my path. I love it. I love it.
Take 2.
Dude.
If Isaac does not have a
might be dead Oroni. The tracker goes to 5 power. The knight is really... Ooh. What was that? Oh, yeah. He can crack 2 clues, make the tracker like a 6 power.
Actually, I don't like this play very much. I would have preferred to crack a clue and try to find a fetch.
Yeah.
Because a fetch would have added a bit more power.
Agreed.
Because you get it off the knight.
Yeah, you get both.
Yeah.
But, goodbye clues. Tracker draw. Cards. Oh, voice is pretty good. Tap yourself out. I mean, still not dead to Smasher. That's the thing, right? Like, Isaac could have the 3rd Smasher and you're still living.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac doesn't have double smash. You just don't lose anything.
Yup, get him.
Now, did Isaac have something, or were we?
No, that's super lethal.
Okay.
All right, so that's gonna do it. Vincent Giacalone gets it. 2 games to none. Nightfall over Eldrazi. Dan is going to hop out of the room briefly, but yeah, Vincent with some pretty good. Knight of the Reliquary obviously becoming huge. This is what we were talking about, where Knight of the Reliquary will frequently outclass Bant Eldrazi's, spaghetti monsters by just being way, way, way bigger. Like, Reality Smasher is huge when you play a 5/5 on turn 3, but when the Knight outgrows it, like, your Reality Smasher is not getting bigger unless you're attacking with Exalted triggers, and that is... how do you... we saw the first path. It's just that Isaac didn't find a second path, didn't find an Ewit for the first path again. So yeah, looking at the sideboard here, Reflector Mage, multiple Blessed Alliance for Vincent. Blessed Alliance, showing its worth. Eldritch Evolution as well. And I think that is an indicator of just how important it is for Nightfall to have an actual knight in this matchup and in many other matchups. It's just your best beater creature. It gets huge. You can do it turn 2 if you sack a dork. So, yeah, this is it's an interesting match. We do see that Reflector Mages came in as well. Good for bouncing stuff at instant speed off of Coco. Very much pretty good looking sideboard and game plan, and then also the clue token and the elemental token there. Looking at the rest of it looks like some Spell Quellers came out. Selfless Spirit came out. And then Oh yeah, so he's got a bunch of negates as well for like combo decks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, seems pretty standard, all things considered.
Yeah, the biggest spice is the Eldritch Evolution, which we've seen him cast in different weeks. You know, just like get a knight with this on turn 2 because I sacked my dork.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that line, just because you are 2 for 1 of yourself at best, and like knight is obviously very powerful.
Remember when he did that against Tron though, and just got a Ghost Quarter every turn?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's only 2 Ghost Quarters, right?
Right, but that was
it was enough.
I think his opponent had his basic in his hand, so it was
just strip mine.
Strip mine every turn. How do you lose?
Well, that just 2 turns. You got 2 strip mines.
That's still a lot.
It's
if you kill their Tron pieces, they have to do something about that, right?
You're not wrong.
Okay.
All right. So stepping outside, it looks like there's only one match ongoing in the game, in the room.
Yeah.
And they're wrapping up pretty shortly here.
Okay. In that case, we can. So we talked a little bit about San Antonio, or I talked a little bit about San Antonio to the chat before, but what's your, if you're going to San Antonio, but you're not, but like, let's say you were going to San Antonio this weekend.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Sorry. What are you playing? How do you build for a format in which you're playing 3 different modern decks and they can't overlap?
Right. I mean, the format seems very fun. Right, like I would love to go. I don't think I can justify, I don't know, $500 plane ticket at this point from Chicago.
The airfare is bizarrely high.
Well, it's in part because San Antonio kind of is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You can drive 10 hours and still be in Texas.
Hey man, Texas is
pretty big. But yeah, it's a really interesting format. Hopefully, it's a good success. But as far as like what I would play.
Yeah.
I think it behooves you to play decks that are very bad against hate. Because the hate has to be spread out, right? Only one person can be running Stony Silence. Only one person can run Ancient Grudges. So what does the third person run?
So you're thinking you definitely want to play Affinity.
I want to play, I think Affinity is a lock for 1. Also because Affinity, if you play Affinity, you also, that overlaps with no other deck other than
Lantern.
Infect, Lantern. Like you're chopping off very little, right? Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily have to play the Blood Moons in Affinity either, so like you can give that to someone else. And then like if you're only playing a 2-deck format, now like the world is your oyster, right?
Yeah.
Like now you can play.
Death Shadow Jund. I was saying there's a team from here going and they're playing Jeskai Control, like mono green ramp stuff, and Death Shadow Jund.
Right. But you even could play something like, you could play Jeskai and just like rock.
Yeah.
And then Affinity as the tail. You also you could play Tron, and then that opens up pretty much everything else.
Right, yeah, if you play green black Tron, like what?
Play a deck that doesn't need those fatal pushes. You can play Jund in green black Tron.
You could.
Yeah.
I think that Brutality and Fatal Push are both pretty good in Jund, but you could get.
If I was going to play Jund, I'd probably play green white Tron with it.
Yeah, I mean, then you just
because
have all
then
everyone is just split up. But you're definitely thinking Affinity is a lock, just because
I mean, the deck is still very powerful, right? Let's not forget that.
Everyone, when people sleep on Affinity, is when people get wrecked by Affinity.
Yeah, it's like when people forget to bring the hate. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, I guess you're dead because you didn't have like your Stony Silence or your Ancient Grudge. And keep in mind, we still can fight through all of it, right? You're not adjusting the Affinity list at all. You still have the full stock 75 Affinity cards.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else has to adjust for you. Everyone else is worse against you.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Like
Cranial Plating,
still excellent.
Still good.
So it's interesting because because of the way that the meta has sort of shifted. I remember the last time we had one of these like unified modern GPs is talking about potential lists that you might play, and the thought was you could play Infect or you could play Affinity because they both are going to want Inkmon Nexi. Right. But the beauty of it is no one is playing Infect apparently. People are playing Infect, but it's just losing.
Yeah, which might be an argument for playing Infect this weekend, for this tournament.
Just surprise people?
Surprise people. I mean, deck is still very good.
I feel like the same decks that are building to kill Death Shadow Jund are incidentally going to slay you if you play Infect.
If Fatal Push is very good against both decks.
Fatal Push is really good. For example, like Eldrazi Tron plays Walking Ballista. How on earth do you beat a Walking Ballista?
With great difficulty. With great difficulty.
Yeah, and like a Spellskite maybe.
Yeah, Spellskite's good. Yeah, you're gonna take a ton of life. Because you redirect each ping individually.
Yeah, it's quite challenging. Ooh, pairings. Amazing. Let's go. So, we've got some pairings. Yeah, get it. Alright. Dan's going to hop out of the booth. We are about to get round 3 underway here at MTGCardMarket Wednesday Night Modern. Let's see here. So, I will throw it back down to the play overlay because we are about to get underway and I need to reset some fields. So, yeah. Pretty good night of Magic so far. Saw some cool decks. Saw Knight of the Royal Quarry be huge. Saw Death Shadow be Tron. Hopefully we'll have 2 more unique decks for you. And by unique, I mean we haven't seen them before coming up. Should be a good time. Let's see. We got left. And then we've got right deck. Okay, so 2 players sitting down here. Pretty sure I know. Yeah, okay, so on the left, Vincent Adinolfi. Not the first Vincent that we've seen on stream tonight, but the only one that's been playing Jeskai Control in Modern since 2013. And on the right, we're going to have Mark Masellis. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of that, Mark. And I believe he's on Scapeshift, particularly Green-Red Breach. Or not Breach, Green-Red Valakut. Thanks to M. Pavant and Hayes Mafia for the follows. We really appreciate the follows. And, you know, we appreciate you guys supporting the stream. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Dan and I are both, you know, we've really loved doing all this casting that we've done, and we hope to continue doing it for as long as we can. This has been a great experience, and we really appreciate, you know, all the support that the Twitch community has shown us. So this is an interesting matchup. Sometimes Valakut just wins because it's an inevitable combo deck, and Jeskai loses because it can't answer, you know, prime time getting double Valakut. But other times, if you counter their prime times and they don't just kill you with Scapeshift, like, you just sort of win. Also, sometimes you ult in a Johnny Vengeance and they lose.
Sometimes they play a Boseiju.
If Green Red Valakut has to play a Boseiju, dude, like, whatever, man. That's fine. That's just one less mountain. Like, if I get Boseiju'd by Green Red Valakut, like, I literally just am gonna just give it to him. Like, they played a Boseiju against me. Mm-hmm. This card is so bad against every other deck.
It would be so good if it tapped for mana without losing 2 life.
Yeah, probably too good. It looks like Mark is gonna be on the play here.
It's legendary. That's such a big downside.
Yes. Yes, it is. Interestingly, you cannot use Boseiju once you flip your deck to Adnos.
Correct.
Because you can no longer pay life.
Also, it would come into play tapped.
Well, I mean, if you have it on the field.
Oh, sure.
If you have to use it to cast the Adnos, not the Lightning Storm. Mm-hmm. But then you have packed backup like a million different ways.
You have 3 packs in hand, and if they can beat 3 packs, well,
I mean, Counterflux.
Yes.
The man on the left here does play Counterflux, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes he doesn't even play cards that were printed after 2013, 2014. Yeah, that's the Vincent way. So, Search for Tomorrow. Good turn 1 here for Mark. He'll pass it over to Vince.
Vincent does have a Remand in hand, which,
pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean,
he'll start with a tapped Howled Fountain and a passing of the turn. Would have preferred that to be a Colonnade, but, you know, you take what you can get.
Yeah, I mean, no difference here. Also, Vincent...
that is a Farseek.
Yeah. So, Vincent, I was going to say, Vincent has a Mana Leak in hand as well, which would have been able to Mana Leak the Search, but not anymore.
Yep. Vincent will play a Tech Edge. Pass the turn.
Tech Edge, quite good in this matchup.
Vincent says fine to the Search. And he's probably got bigger plans.
Yeah, this deck plays only a couple cards that matter.
Prime Time and Scapeshift.
Yeah, so you can't really fight over, like, the ramp. Like, they're going to play the lands.
Yeah, they're going to get the lands in play. It's your job to stop them once they get to 6. But like, Mark is at a 2 mana advantage to Vince right now.
Yeah. 3. He hasn't played his land for turn yet.
Jesus. Colony Heart Expedition.
All
Would have liked that earlier. That'll get remanded by Vince, and Vince will draw.
Okay, but we can just go ahead and replay it.
It's just fine. I think Vince just wanted to cycle there.
Yep. So there's the Valakut.
Yeah. I mean, Vince does have a tech edge. So, like, the first prime time will get leaked.
Yeah, Vincent also has to play something or discard.
I think he might just discard. I don't know if he has a play.
Oh, actually, no, that's not true. He has 7 in hand.
Yeah. He says go. Back over to Mark. If Mark doesn't play anything, I can see Vincent tech edging the Valakut. Cinderglade. Bump the Expedition up. Do things? Sakura Tribe Elder, yes.
Okay, Steve!
Steve! What are you doing here, Steve?
Just such a good ramp spell.
Steve.
Just better rampant growth.
True. Vincent double tech edge. But like 1 blue source, so good luck.
I mean, like we said before, the green-red Valakut deck is going to hit his land drops.
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to try to take this Valakut offline, though. Mm-hmm. The problem is that Mark could go Sakura Tribe Elder, trigger Heart, sack Heart, but he's not going to. He'll just take a draw step.
Yeah, let's not forget, all of that is at instant speed.
Yeah.
So Mark can respond to, like, Vincent doing anything with all of that damage.
Right. Yeah, so now Mark's going to think about it. You know, obviously a Primeval Titan here gets Mana Leak. This will be an attack. You know, Steve beats... They've won a couple games here and there, but not many. Vincent double leak in hand. Okay.
Double leak, but again, only 1 blue source, which is a bit of a problem. Also, no red, so we can't cycle the Electrolyze.
Right, that is a problem for Vince. These
Mark forgetting to put the counter on the Colony Heart.
might be important.
Yeah.
Vincent probably gonna have to discard here. I think you discard Lightning Helix.
Yes, the card that will matter the least here.
He discards Path.
Okay, so Path is a way to deal with Primeval Titan, but I guess, like, on the context of this board, we're just not beating that anyways. And you might want to Helix
Helix to gain life, but
Yeah.
you don't have red, so not inclined. Okay, Vincent gonna go down to 18 here, critically within Scapeshift range. Sack the Steve, get a land. I think this might be where Mark just casts Scapeshift. Gets a forest. Sacks the Colony Heart.
Okay, so
Mark, now these are gonna be bolts, right?
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to put him to 10 lands. Mark can no longer get double tech edged out of it.
Yeah, you're right. Whew.
Ooh, Mark is having a little bit of trouble finding what he wants.
He needs 2 lands from this, right?
So one thing that Mark might be thinking is if he's going to escape shift.
How many lands can he afford to get?
Right, because like this is a lot of mountains in play.
These are both, so he gets another forest.
Okay.
So, but that 1 mountain should be doing a bolt to Vince, right?
I believe.
Yes. There's 5 other mountains.
But
Escape shift, he says. Vincent, I think, is just dead.
Yeah. So Mark is asking like, ooh, so that 3 points might matter here. No, it won't matter. No. You can't ever do 15 with Scape Shift.
Right.
Well, you technically can, right? But like,
that's not good.
Yeah.
If I'm Vince here, like you make him. Oh, so wait, is this just resolving now?
I mean, make him pay doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So Mark just needs to make sure he has enough mountains in his deck, and we're gravy.
He did sacrifice 9 lands.
Of which 2 of them were forests, right?
Mm-hmm. He's got enough mountains for sure.
So that's 7, and this is. I forget how many mountains this deck runs.
Yeah,
like somewhere around 12.
I hope it's.
If it's 12, it's not enough.
Yeah.
He sacked 7 mountains.
Okay. I think he's just dead though. I'm not sure Vincent has.
Because we need 8 mountains and we get 2 Valakuts.
Yeah.
8 mountains and a Valakut, right?
Valakut. 1. Oh, 2 Valakuts.
Oh, this is not enough.
3, 4, 5, 6,
7,
Oh, Mark.
No!
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 No! He does 0?
He does 0!
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
What has happened? Oh, Vincent, you madman!
Oh no!
Mark's only on 8 mana.
Does Mark have any even more mountains left in his deck?
Oh, no! What the heck? Vincent just flashes in a Snapcaster Mage.
Maybe path it? Find a mountain?
I agree. I think he path your Snap.
Oh no!
No, he doesn't. He just untaps. Did Mark just punt?
I think he did. So like
Attack?
So
Bolt your Snap. Fine.
So this is what we were talking about prior, right?
Yeah. Vincent double tech edge.
Because Vincent had double tech edge. Scapeshift, Val could, for each of the mountain triggers, you need 5 other mountains.
Right.
So normally you go, you have a Valken and 6 total.
Mm-hmm.
But because you have double tech edge, you need to find 8 mountains total.
Right.
And because Mark took this on, I don't think he has enough mountains left in his deck.
I don't think he does either.
I think he has 0 mountains in his deck.
Let's see. If he gets this doesn't even do damage because there's only 4 mountains in play. 4 mountains and 4 Valakits. Oh no.
I think there might just be. Oh
That's
no,
a
that's a
forest.
forest. Yeah, like I said,
God.
this deck maybe plays 11 mountains, maybe 12.
12. Chat said 13.
Okay, sure. 13 would be on the highest end of it.
Yeah.
Right. So you sack 7 on the begin and search for 6.
Yeah.
Got double tech edge off of it.
Yeah. It's over. Oh no.
So
Primal Command. All right. This is we'll pull that up.
So I mean, we're officially on we have to kill you with Primeval Titan.
Which is vulnerable now. I guess it's not vulnerable to Mana Leak anymore. It is vulnerable to Double Leak, though. Vincent checking the graveyard.
Oh, you know what we can do?
What can
Target player shuffles his or her graveyard into his horde library.
Wow. Oh, we're back in.
We're back in it. Tiki Man. It says 13. Always 13.
Okay.
That is actually very good to know for anyone who plays this format.
True.
It's
Wow, that Primal Command is actually insane.
that Primal Command is absurd.
He gets a Primeval Titan, too, so Vincent won't have to lose.
So we went from cannot win the game to cannot
Probably
lose.
cannot lose. Because if he draws... Okay, so now
He has 3 Valakits in play. Everything
he has
is...
4 Valakits in play. It's
he has all
2,
4.
3, 4.
So
He only has 4 mountains, though.
Sure, but
Vincent also has to double leak the Titan.
But all we have to do is just draw 2 mountains. And we've got
Yeah, no, there's a lot of live draws.
Yeah.
So, Titan. Mana Leak. Obviously pay. Mana Leak.
Okay.
Get out.
Totally fine. Did we draw a land this turn?
No. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, Sakura Tribe Elder. Colonnade Tap. Probably going to be slow.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but Ken, thank you for the heads up there.
Also, I think Mark is at... Oh, okay.
So this is interesting.
Vincent will rev for 3, go to 21.
Mark passed the turn here, right? So this deck has effectively 2 kinds of cards in its deck. It's got lands
And things that get lands.
and things that get lands.
So what is in his hand?
Exactly. I mean,
Vincent
I
draw
think he
steps
has...
into another Tech Edge.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. This can take him off another non-basic mountain.
Right.
It's very real.
Because Mark didn't play something some of the deader draws would be Expedition, Carling Heart, right?
A Johnny Avengent, probably slow.
Or Johnny won't really do anything here,
Yeah.
right? If we get to 7, yes, we win the game. But Mark's got a bolt in hand.
Yeah. So Frost this. I actually like... So I like tech edging the... I like tech edging this Stomping Ground.
I do too.
I think that it's, that's how he gets to the mountains, right? Ooh, another forest, though.
Forest. Ooh.
Not what you're looking for. Tap 4. Oh, well, this might just be it.
Okay. This time we can't beat this.
Oh, wait, he can snap remand it, though.
Do we have...
He doesn't have another double green.
Okay.
So draw... I mean, if Vincent draws Cryptic, it's live. Bolt your Snapcaster. Pass.
Huh.
Untap. So Vincent can keep a green source tapped down, but that won't be enough. Wait, no, tech edge the stomping ground, tap a green source, and you're fine.
Yes.
Yeah, just tap a green source, tech edge stomping ground, and you win. Or not win, but you can't scape shift.
Right.
Unless he draws, like, search.
Yeah, I think that has to be the line.
Up to 5. Target your forest. Mm-hmm. Okay. He has to tech edge, though.
Unless we have another remand or a cryptic.
He sees it.
Okay.
He sees it. He sees the tech edge. Oh, I lied. He does not see the tech edge.
I mean, he pulled the tech edge out.
Yeah, no, he does.
Vincent Adenoff, confirmed experienced pilot of this deck.
Yes. Looks at his hand. Is like, his cards in hand are not particularly great.
Oh, look, Vincent does win in 3 turns.
I know. But if, where are Mark's mountains? Steve?
It's just,
I mean, it doesn't matter right now. What is...
that is Steve.
Oh, that is a promo Steve. Okay.
Vincent
Vincent probably going to... Yeah, he's going to Electrolyze here to take this off the board. 1-1.
Yeah, this is Steve's cooler brother.
Steve's cooler brother, the promo Steve?
Yeah, I don't know what his name would be.
Stefan.
That's Steve's European brother.
No, Stephanopoulos is his European brother.
No, that's the nephew we don't talk about.
Dan, the whole Steve family is getting involved here.
It's true.
Vincent says Helix you.
Here's the Desperation Helix.
I mean, go up to 24.
Look, at this point, that Helix is doing nothing, right?
Oh, yeah, no, it's not doing anything. You untap and draw.
The only card it can hit is Primeval Titan. And
Right.
if Mark plays a Primeval Titan, we have lost the game.
Oh, well, so actually the thing is, though, it's like... oh, wait, so if Mark got another forest, then he can just untap Scape Shift, right?
He did get another forest.
Oh, so he's just going to untap and Scape Shift.
He's going to untap and Scape Shift.
Vincent does use 3 tech edges this game, but wow, Primal Command.
What a card. What a card.
To be fair, though, what an enormous punt by Mark. He punted pretty hard with that Valakid play, and, did draw the Primal Command to get out of it.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, it was definitely... I think Mark was aware of the line and forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because Mark is a fairly experienced pilot of this, and
I know.
I mean, no one plays Tech Edge anymore.
Right, true.
It's just never relevant. But because Mark sacked so many lands, he just ran out of mountains of his deck. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not sure.
Vincent is thinking about what to do.
All right. So,
I mean, Mark presumably has triple green, right?
he now has triple green. Yes.
Yeah. So Vincent can't keep him off double any longer. Vincent, I think, is just going to go Desperation Colonnade attack here. If Vincent had drawn a Cryptic at any point, this would have been fine.
Yes. Because especially Vincent's also gone through multiple Snapcasters. Mm-hmm. Now imagine if those Snapcasters were permanent.
Yeah.
Were permanent counter spells as opposed to remands and what nonsense.
Right. Agreed.
Also, one thing Mark can also do is, by some miracle,
Helix you, Vincent says. I think he's trying to get out of range of Escape Shift, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Mark has 4 Valakids in play.
Right.
He doesn't have to sack everything. He just has to sack enough. And all of a sudden, even having 2 mountains that trigger this is enough to be lethal.
Yeah, because it's
12 each.
12, well, yeah, sorry, 12 from each value.
Oh, I 3. We need 3.
3 mountains.
3 mountains.
Vincent thinking about what to do with the last 4 mana that I guess he has a lot of mana up. He's deciding whether to attack with Colonnade or not.
Yeah, and one thing that Mark can do, if he doesn't have exactly lethal, he can kill the Johnny with one of them.
Agreed.
But I like this a lot from Vincent because
Just have to get aggro.
He knows what his out is.
Yeah.
And this is something that I see a lot of players fail to do.
Is figure out how they win the game.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, wow, I'm in a bad spot, and just pass the turn.
Right.
This is Vincent's only line to win the game, and it's not a good line, right?
Right.
But it's your only line.
Yeah.
And you just have to do this.
All right, so Mark needs to not mess up another Scape Shift.
All right, this is a little... Because we don't have to sack everything.
Yes, but we might. Oh, wow. Mark is counting carefully here.
Okay, so there's 4 Valakids. He's got 4 lands there, 5, 6. He needs to sack all of these. Oh, no, he needs to sack...
You can sack those.
He doesn't have to sack the mountain.
Sure.
But
he's going to.
but yeah, like there are no lands in the graveyard right now, so he has access to a full 6 here, and without a tech edge.
No take.
Oh my god! You know what Vincent? You know what Mark loses to right here?
What?
Cryptic.
Bounce one of your mountains.
Oh, but it still takes 12.
Cryptic would not have. Cryptic would have just countered the scape shift, dude.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh. Oh no, Vincent. What is going on? Oh my god, did he have a cryptic?
Oh my god. Is that oh wait, so he loses life, doesn't go up.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no, he goes down to 21, right?
20 he was at 27.
Oh, 20, so he goes to 24.
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll fetch.
Alright,
So
this is not cryptic.
cryptic. It's not cryptic.
So what are we doing here? Are we wasting time?
No, we're killing him. Helixio.
Okay, this is nowhere close to being enough life.
Go to 4.
Are we go to 1?
Oh, he was 1 mana off. Oh, wow.
Oh,
He was 1 mana off.
Vincent had so much open mana in turns prior.
Yeah.
He had just fired off these bolts.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. Oh, God. Not like this. Put your not likes this in
Not
the
like
chat. Oh. Oops, I misspelled it.
Not like this.
Oh.
If Vincent had just fired off a bolt the previous turn.
It's the little things that matter. Oh my god.
Wow.
Dude, his out was Lotus Petal and we didn't even know it. Oh, that's gotta feel bad.
Yeah, or if Vincent had like, we could say things Vincent could have done, right? The only thing he could have done is like bolted the turn prior, right?
Yeah.
But like Vincent also had the line of taking down to Johnny.
But then he would have gotten scape shifted. Like
Oh yeah.
Like,
So
like
that's
he couldn't have not.
You know what put Vincent in the position to do this? Remember on turn 4 when he discarded a Path to Exile instead of a Lightning Helix?
Yo.
Remember when he made that play on turn 4? That was the winning line. Discarding the Path and not the Lightning Helix. That's insane.
Vince is really good at this deck.
Right. Except when he forgot to fire off the lightning bolt.
Oh, dude, that's heartbreaking. Oh, feels so bad. Thanks to Civitron for the follow as we get ready to go to the second game
so
here.
the bolt only had 2 targets in this deck, right? It either
Double bolts of prime time.
It either double bolts prime time or goes face.
I think you just gotta face.
And when Vincent reached the point where like prime titan resolves, we lose the game.
Just gotta face
It
it.
had to go face. And I think Vincent realized this.
A turn
light.
Oh no!
Because like, look how much burn was in Vincent's hand.
He had
right?
like 9 points of burn.
He had 9 points in burn. The 3 from
Ajani.
the 3 from a Johnny and the colonnade hit. He did 17, and I think that's why Vincent missed it. Because Mark was at like 16, and I was like, oh, there's no way I can deal this much damage.
Oh, just a turn. Yeah, wow. It's the little things. You just got to bolt earlier.
Yeah, but Vincent was holding 16 points in hand.
True. It's a lot.
Well, he had 16 points, right? He wasn't actually holding 16, but like, how crazy is that? How crazy is that?
All right. Vincent's board for this is like he has 3 Vendilion clicks. He has what's it called? He has a counterflux. Like his post board setup is quite good against Valakut.
It's acceptable against Valakut, right?
It gets a lot better.
It gets a lot better.
It gets like it's not great, but it gets a lot. Like I don't think this matchup is ever great, but it gets so much better.
The fact that game 1 was even close
is a testament.
It's a testament to how good Tech Edge was.
Yes.
Also, Mark slightly miscounting.
Yeah.
Slightly miscounting.
That happened.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that was pretty. That was rough. I was like, what? No.
The tech edges are very difficult to play around because, like, especially if you draw a lot of mountains,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, like, you can't, like, you just can't, if you don't have enough lands to sack. You have to wait on Scape Shift until you draw a bunch of fetches and sack the fetches.
Yeah, agreed. So Vincent is going to keep his hand. He'll start on a tapped Colonnade and pass it back.
Okay.
Mark on a mountain, so no turn 1 ramp. Pretty good for Vince.
Quite good for Vincent.
He'll go with a...
Flooded Strand.
Flooded Strand next. Yes, I know what these cards are.
Duh.
Double... what?
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, Mark playing the wrong land.
Vincent sat there sort of nonplussed for a moment, like, excuse me?
Vincent knew what was up.
What?
Oh, man.
No, I don't see a Prismatic Omen anywhere. Do you see a Prismatic Omen? Vincent might flash in a Snapcaster. I honestly think he might do it just to start hitting life totals.
I mean, he fetched shock.
He did fetch Shock for this.
Maybe not shocked, right? He may have just untapped. We might have just...
No.
Oh, no.
You would have seen him bring it in tapped. Oh, he's going to Helix.
Thanks. Okay.
That's better.
So, part of the reason the Helixes are still in the game, in the deck, just not enough. Just too many bad cards. Not enough to take out.
Good point. Yep, pass it back.
All right.
Mark with the draw. Jeez, Mark, that might cost you big.
Yeah, I mean, it's one fewer counter.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Doo-doo. 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 Electrolyze you. Vincent going aggressive with these burn spells.
Vincent going for the scare.
Yeah, dude, get in there.
There's another electrolyze.
Vents.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna go for the burn plan. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Draw step, click you.
Draw step, click. Okay, we've got a...
Scape shift.
I think, is that the only... No, there's a Steve.
There's 2 Steves.
There's one Steve.
And there's one cool older brother. Okay, Dan, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
We can deploy... this is going to be a lot of damage.
What, the click?
No, the Steves. I mean, we're going to have Valakut online next turn.
Yes. This is true. But Vincent is also going aggressive enough that he is...
Yeah, so I mean... and we can fetch here and play the other Steve.
Looks like that's not going to happen, though.
Okay.
Attack you for 3.
I'm a little curious as to why Mark didn't
Mark
do that.
goes to 12. Yeah, I don't know why you don't play the other Steve.
Because, like...
Maybe you want to save life and get, like, a Stomping Ground, but, like, I'm ambivalent. I'm not
do
actually...
we even want a Stomping Ground? I guess, yeah, you do want to...
Yeah, so we're going to do, like, 4 lands at once out of the deck.
3. Oh, there's a fetch as well.
Call me hard fetch,
Yeah,
Steve.
you were completely right. 4.
Mark is at 11. Vincent next turn can hit him for 7.
Vincent's also got another electrolyze in hand, at least.
And a bolt.
And a bolt.
Does he just win?
That's 5.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have a second white source to activate Colonnade.
It's fine. We're going to draw it off electrolyze.
Good point.
It's going to get Colonnade, though.
True. I agree.
Okay, so Mark putting himself into a position where...
Vincent can just win the game?
No, top deck Scape Shift is good.
True. Extremely
We
true.
want to make sure we have untapped land, so if we draw a Scape Shift, it's good. There's a Valakut.
Valakut has double green.
Has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mountains in play.
Steve.
There's Steve.
I don't know. That's a good question, Big Daddy.
So he had 4 lands.
No, he has 7. No, he has 8 lands now.
Yeah, he has 8. No, he played the Valakut. Oh my god, he forgot to search for one.
Mark.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Played the Valakut this turn. Should have found 4 lands.
Yep. That's what happens when you shortcut this stuff.
Oh no! Not like this.
Not like this. Chats, put your not like this in the chat.
Not like this.
Okay, so has the Steve, has the ability to kill the click with a Valakut trigger. Vincent says, end of turn, 4 mana, cryptic, bounce your something.
Bounce your Valakut?
Okay.
Counter bounce. Ooh, this sets Mark
pretty far behind.
Yeah. He's thinking about hard casting a search.
Yeah. Vincent says bolt you. Mark goes to 8. This does let Vince hit with the click again.
Uh-huh.
Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
And we'll have lethal. Next turn. Actually, might draw lethal.
Yeah. There's that white source for Colonnade we were talking about.
Which was a Colonnade.
Yeah, dude, it's like literally the worst.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is Mark is like wins with Scape Shift, but loses to basically everything else, right?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he'll have
He
8
loses
lands.
everything else. He wins with Scape Shift, even if he gets Titan and gets a Valakut Mountain to bolt the click, he dies to end of turn Electrolyzed Colonnade.
Yes. It needs to be landscape shift here to win the game. There's land. There's Titan. It's not enough.
Also, Vincent might have interaction. If you say resolves here, you don't just lose. Because Mark gets, like, what, a Valakut and a land and does 6 damage?
Yeah. But he's going to take at least 6.
Yeah. No, he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think that, you know, if you're Mark, you're like, oh, maybe I turn it around, and I kill him on the next turn, but there is no next turn.
Right.
The game's over.
Yeah, the only reason Vincent
Assuming Vincent has the other Electrolyze, which I think we saw.
Yeah. One card Mark might have, it's a card that's fallen out of popularity.
I think he's going to scoop it up.
I think he
realized.
Yeah, one card that's fallen out of popularity is Flame Slash.
Flame Slash.
Oh, not Flame Slash. Rending Volley. Rending Valley.
I don't think Rending Volley's in Mark's deck. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's almost certainly not. Because Deceiver, Exarch, and Pestermite were the only, like, you could kill Colonnades with it, yes. But, like, you played that card because you needed to kill Pestermites.
Yes, through counter magic.
Wizards was like, cool, we'll print this card that's pretty good at hating on Twin. And then they went on and banned Twin. And that's all we're going to say about that. Because that is not a good topic to go down. So, looking at Vince's board, got some Supreme Verdicts that he took out, D-Sphere, Engineered Explosives. None of these seem particularly good against what Mark's doing. Vincent brought in triple click, counterflux, and stuff. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The fact that this matchup is like low-key competitive is very sort of amusing to me because honestly, like I've always think like, oh, Valakut just trashes this, right?
Yeah, I think so. One thing that like I would really like to point out that I think a lot of people miss board in this matchup.
Yeah.
Vincent has left in all of his burn.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you have to play this match. You have to play it like you're a burn deck.
Go fast, dude.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Like he was pressuring so hard. He's just like, end of turn, Lightning Helix you. Electrolyze you, play click in your draw step, take your stuff, like
and like maybe draw a couple counter magic and hope that buys you enough time to like not die.
Right, you have to become like the tempo deck.
Yes.
The tempo burn.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so third game, third round.
So missing the land drop, I don't think will
affect it, but
but see, here's the thing, right? If Mark had played the right land on turn 2.
Maybe that matters.
Maybe we're a whole turn faster. Maybe Vincent doesn't have the cryptic. Maybe we scape shift the turn earlier.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I will agree that is not the optimal thing to do. Typically, when you have a card you want to play on your second turn, you should play the cards. You should play the lands.
But like you know, like I've certainly like misclicked in real life before. Right?
Oh, true.
You know.
I mean, you've also kept double Ayavugan, so.
Look. It looked like a temple.
Did it, Dan?
It really did.
Chat, press 1 if Dan is wrong.
I thought I had like the nut 6.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I had a very poor 6.
Yeah. Does Eldrazi Temple look that much like Ayavugan? One of them's blue and the other one's purple.
Look.
Are you blue-purple colorblind? Colorblindness is a thing that affects a very large percentage of men.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
They were similar, okay? They were similar.
Oh, did you play the second eye and have to sack one?
No, I looked down at my hand and I was like, oh, that's not what I wanted. And then I hit for 2 with the Mimic.
I think Vincent also mulliganed?
Yeah, both players are going to 6 here.
Vincent looked like he was thinking about it for a while, but decided not to.
In the nicest way possible.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen Vincent keep many extremely questionable hands and get there.
Uh-huh.
Like
it's a thing of beauty. Honestly, the fact that you tilt about it so much is what makes it so good.
I have seen Vincent keep like 7-card Plains Tech Edge.
Dude,
5 cards that are
You just
uncastable.
draw 2 fetch lands in a row, and we're in it.
That is exactly what happened. And I was just like, yeah, sure, why not?
I've been thinking about just this evening in general, like which of the two of us has been saltier. But with that, you take the lead in a big way, buddy. So both players on 6. This probably favors Mark.
Yeah, it was just a lot of built-in redundancy.
Vince keeps with the scribe.
Yeah, Vincent has a lot of things that
Vince
have
has a
to
cryptic. Looks like Snapcaster 2 lands. So Vincent has Bolt, Cryptic, Snapcaster, Helix 2 lands.
Okay, that seems...
That seems very keepable.
Yep.
Do you fetch Shock EOT to Bolt here?
No. We're going to have plenty of time to bolt.
Are we?
Yes, we will have more than enough time to bolt. Because we don't have enough burn in hand.
Right.
To, actually, lethal him quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I might... Well, it looks like Vincent's going for the bolt.
Dude, it's about sending a message.
I guess here's the thing, right? Being at 17 is the same as being at 18.
Yeah.
And if we're going to play another fetch any time in the game, we might as well just take this line, right?
Right. I mean, this is just being efficient, clearing your hand of the cards. You want to be able to hold up Cryptic.
Right.
Yeah,
just because 18 is a magical number in which escape shift.
They have to get more.
Right.
Vincent down to 15.
Let me clarify that. Being above 18 is a magical number.
Yeah.
Being at 18 it doesn't matter.
You're just dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vincent is going to go to exactly that number here as he helixes Mark down to 14.
Okay, but Mark is going to take his turn 3 off.
Yeah, no, Mark is really slow this game, and this only can favor Vincent.
Yeah, I mean,
because Mark is not going to be able to cast a primetime before Vince has Cryptic.
Vincent has Snap Bolt here.
Yeah. Oh no, he's well.
This is a very aggressive.
He's got
play.
Snap Bolt, hold up Cryptic.
Oh my God! What did Mark keep?
That comes in tapped. Bam! Snap Bolt. Get him.
What did Mark keep?
I don't know.
He's going to be at 9.
Unless he kills the Snapcaster. Oh, Vincent draws in a Johnny.
That's pretty good.
Johnny seems really good, actually.
We can also hold up Cryptic, but
you don't care, right? Mark isn't playing. You slam this at Johnny and keep the Cinderglade tapped.
Right, because
Mark not close.
Mark is not playing the Simian Spirit Guide version.
Jesus Christ.
Right, because a lot of the Valakaz decks do play Simian Spirit Guide, but they do it with Through the Breach. And nothing has indicated to me that Mark is on Through the Breach.
He has Scape Shift. He can't be on Through
He can't be on Through. Right. So then, yeah, I mean,
what? Did he just keep mono prime times? Ooh, Mark.
Okay.
You might be dead soon.
What?
Vincent has 5 damage if he helixes with the Ajani.
What?
But now he has Cryptic up. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Yeah, what is going on?
I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
and he's gonna just put him to 4.
Yeah, because he has Cryptic, and this is lethal on board.
Wow. Thank you to Trek Rider 777 for the follow in the middle of this very confusing game 3. He's got 3 prime times in hand. Okay, so wait, what?
This is a primal command to gain 7 life.
Oh, Cryptic for sure, right? Yes,
yeah, Cryptic, you lose the game.
Yeah, what do you... I think he's waiting for Mark to pick modes, and then he's going to respond with a savage Cryptic command.
Yeah, the only way Mark gets blown... the Vincent gets blown out, and it's not even that big of a blowout, is if, Mark plays, Mountain Bolt or Johnny.
Sure.
Even that's fine, though.
That seems great.
Vincent is demonstrating how he has lethal on board.
I think someone is asking how Mark cast from off screen is asking how Mark cast the primal command when there's an Ajani on the board, because presumably one of his lands would have been frosted. But Vincent is explaining to the onlooker that he helixed with it.
Yeah.
And thanks to It's Legit Talent for the follow, as Vincent shuffles up here and prepares to cast everyone's favorite Swiss Army knife. Got him, and that's going to do it. Vincent Adinolfi wins it 2-1, Jeskai Control versus Green Red Valakut.
I
don't know what I just saw. I think Mark probably just kept a hand that had 2 prime times in it. It was I'm not going to go to 5.
Yeah.
All right, Dan is out of the booth. Dan is looking for a new match. Vincent boarded out 2 Path to Exiles, 3 Supreme Verdicts, and an Electrolyze. And we're going to get to see a look at what he boarded in. Vendilion Click number 1. Something is happening. Vincent is having an animated conversation with someone. Click 2. Click 1, click 2. Red click, blue click. Whoa, what if there were a red click, though? That'd be lit. Okay. You could play, like... Okay, so what else is coming onto the board here for Vince? Got some spell snares. No. Counterflux. Okay. We'll pull up Counterflux here. It's a favorite pet card of Vince's. Generally doesn't leave home with like less than 1 in the 75, sometimes 2. Just very, very strong card. Very little, usually they cast just, oh wow. Oh, Vince also brought in the Crucible of Worlds. So he does have the ability to Crucible Tech Edge you, which is quite good against Valakut until they shuffle their deck back into their library. So yeah, Crucible of Worlds, for that sweet multi-tech edge play. And also just like hitting land drops, and being effective like that. And I believe his last card that needs to come out is a Lone Ajani. He has 1 in the main and 1 in the side. Yeah, so there's the Ajani. Okay, so yeah, that makes up the board there for Vince. Taking out the Wraths, taking out the Paths, trying to fight a little bit more on the stack. Trying to fight even in Mark's hand a little bit with the clicks. Click is just such a valuable tool in this matchup. You get to attack for 3, you get to disrupt them, prevent them from even putting spells on the stack, which can be a problem when your primary counter is Mana Leak. That's like that can be very detrimental if you get leaked and, or if you have a leak and they have like 10 mana or something, you don't counter anything. I'm going to do a little bit of overlay resetting here while Dan is looking for another match. I don't know if we'll be able to find one, but we're going to try really, really hard. Let's see. So yeah, that was pretty good. Again, unsure of what Mark kept in that last game, but I mean, Vincent just, very, very efficiently dealing with everything he was trying to do. So, get these all reset. And hopefully Dan will be back shortly. Okay, so Dan has given me the no. Did you get to talk to either of them about what happened?
Yes. So just an update in the field, right? We got a couple matches going on. Almost all of them are in Game 3, and none of them look very close, right? We've got on our backup match, we've got a Merfolk player with I think 30 power in play, and like Vincent has a single with the Knight. So I don't know if that's going to go much further. There's another game where someone has 3 Death Shadows out, to his opponent's 1 Death Shadow, which usually favors the one with more.
These are the prayers that I'm sending out to that Death Shadow player.
Yes.
So basically what you're telling me is that we're going to get pairings relatively shortly.
We're going to get pairings relatively.
Did you find out what the keep was?
Yeah, so the keep was 3 lands, like Scape Shift, Primeval, 2 Primevals, something like that.
I don't know if I'd go to 5.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully you draw into ramp, but 5 is really rough.
That's 5, I feel like, is when you start getting out of when you start if you just draw
5 is when you start getting non-functional hands, where it's you're not doing anything. So I think the 6 is fine. Vincent just happened to have a very aggressive draw.
Dude, when they go turn 1, they're on a Jeskai deck and they
Fetch Shock bolt you.
Dude, it's about sending a message.
Fetch Shock bolt you. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's you just play it like a burn deck for the first couple turns.
He used all his mana the entire game.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was Fetch Shock
except for
Bolt.
the last.
No, it was Fetch Shock Bolt, Helix, Snap Bolt, Ajani, Crypt.
He had Cryptic.
Oh, Cryptic and a Flooded Strand, sure.
No, he had Cryptic. He had Cryptic with 1 mana left up because he fetched for the Cryptic to get an island.
Oh, sure. Okay.
But yes, Vincent only not tapping a land when he had a land available to tap 1 time.
Yes.
That's some Toyota Prius level efficiency right there.
What?
Dude, it gets a lot of miles per gallon, just like Vincent got a lot of spells per mana. Come on, man.
That secret sponsorship money right there.
Dude, if I were sponsored by Toyota, I'm not going to finish that sentence. But that was, it was just, that's the weird side of the Jeskai deck is against opponents who, you know, are waiting to draw into stuff or like don't necessarily have all the pieces they need to come together to have a faster combo, you can get really like decidedly aggressive when like with very, you know, with like very little notice. We saw it in the we saw it in the first, whatever. we saw it in the first game when Vincent was like, "Oh, I can just like 12 you." Or I'm one mana off of like just winning the game from you at being at like 15. You know, like
it was 17 because he could do 16.
Right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Or something like that. Something like that.
Well, he was one mana short of actually.
Oh, 1 mana short. So it was like 15.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, he was, you know, we're so there's like you have these very weird games where you're like, why am I on offense? And I think that honestly, like Vincent, like having watched him on stream multiple times and whatnot, like he knows when the aggressive line is like how you win a matchup.
Yeah.
And this is one of them where I think it's like very, very true. It's like you just have to be relentless with, you know, just getting like chipping in damage when you can and like being smart about when you tap out and just like, you know, sometimes you just have to cross your fingers and hope they don't have it. But
yeah, like knowing what your outs are and like
it's
incredibly important and something that a lot of players like. This is a way you can misplay and not even realize it. Like
because when you don't take
when you
like
put
a
yourself in a
several
position
turns,
that puts you in a position away. But we're still waiting on parents of round 3 here, so we might throw it to a quick break here.
Maybe say 4 minutes.
4 minutes sounds good.
All right, we will be back with round 4 from MTGCardMarket Wednesday Night Modern in 4 minutes.
Thank you everyone for sticking with us today. We'll be right back.
Yep, last round in 4. And we're back as round 3 begins to close here at MTGCardMarket Wednesday Night Modern. Most of the matches out there are just in their last sort of minutes wrapping up and whatnot. But one thing that, we sort of discussed very early on in the broadcast and haven't talked about since is we did get a new set released. It did have a ton of new, reprinted Modern cards that were desperately needed in it.
Yeah.
And apparently the draft format is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised with a lot of, kind of the more narrow cards that got reprinted, Sometimes that leads to clunky draft formats, but, well, okay, here we go. The draft format is surprisingly a lot of fun. You can kind of play into any of the, pre-established archetypes. One thing that was a little bit surprised that actually works quite well is this harkens back to Khans of Tarkir draft.
We just take all the dual land
5-color good stuff.
5 colors.
I mean, a lot of the really good cards are multicolor.
Yeah.
So you can play, fiery Cruel Ultimatum is a very good card. That if you end up in 5-color good stuff, you can cast Cruel Ultimatum.
If you cast Cruel Ultimatum, how do you lose?
All I can say is in the process of drafting this, I saw someone play a Wart.
Oh, what?
A Wart. 6 mana. It comes with 2.
Spell it.
It's W-O-R-T, I think.
There's a lot of cards with that in the name.
Yeah, maybe we can sidebar. Yeah, there we go. Wart the Raider. Raid Mother.
Wart the Raid Mother.
Yeah, Wart the Raid Mother, and then next turn, cast Cruel Ultimatum, and Conspired. I'm just gonna have to let you read that for a second.
Wow. So
Cruel Ultimatum, it's pretty good.
Cruel Ultimatum is red.
It is.
It's also black and blue. Oh.
So, yeah, gain 10 life. They lose 10.
Sack 2
Draw
creatures.
6 cards. They discard 6.
Cards.
Bring back 2 creatures.
Good God.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How do you lose?
I don't know.
If you
pretty good.
If you lose through one, if you can't losing through 2 Cruel Ultimatum seems quite challenging.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so there's lots of fun stuff like this. The format is, there are very aggressive decks. You can draft very, very aggressive decks because, Goblin Guide is in the format.
Goblin Guide, great card. What do you think of the new art?
I'm not sold.
Okay.
I'm usually, almost universally, I like newer art.
Sure.
Just because, I'm a fan of, the digital, sci-fi nonsense, right? I think, old Onslaught fetches are hideous. I like the new frames. These are all very popular opinions.
You like the new frames?
The new frames are fine.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I like Skrillex over Bob. I like New Goyf.
Wait. I can agree with New Goyf, but you like New Dark Confidant over Bob Maher, Dark Confidant?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Not close. Not close. Not close.
Oh my god. All right. Wow.
Not close.
Why?
Not even close.
Why?
I think the new Snapcaster is the worst art, though.
Okay.
I think the best one is RPTQ one. It's grown on me. It has grown on me.
Oh, Daniel!
I want my Snapcasters to look like Brazilian soccer players.
I guess if that's what you're looking for in a Snapcaster art, then that one really does it. But the new
Snapcaster I think is horrendous.
New Snapcaster is a little questionable. I would have really liked to reprint with the same art. Although, for those people who care, I guess it does preserve the value a little bit better of the old art. But at the same time, come on.
The worst part about the new Snapcaster art is that it is front and center on all of the packaging. So,
that was a weird choice.
That was a...
I understand putting Gristlebrand and Liliana and if it had been old Snapcaster on the art.
No, but
But you have this dude. Who is this dude? Is it old Jace? What is it? Yeah. Also, you're getting some hate in the chat.
Yeah. I know these are all popular opinions.
Dude, the new card frames one is really bad. and the
Well,
Bob
so-
Maher and the Bob Maher Dark Confidant is way
I
better.
think the majority of
Woo! Ooh, Dan.
I would go so far as to say the majority of players agree with me on Dark Confidant versus Skrillex. The majority
Really?
of players. Yes, I would be willing to wager money on this.
All right, so here's what we should do. Is we should make a post on the Modern Magic subreddit and ask players of Modern which one they prefer.
This is the type of terrible post that destroys subreddits.
But this is important. I honestly,
I honestly
we
think
could,
I'm on the right side of this.
Okay,
I understand that like my Snapcaster opinion, you know, not popular, and I'm
You're fine with that?
yeah, I'm fine with that. Admittedly, I thought the RPQ one was horrible, and like it's kind of grown on me. But yeah, I think most people agree with me on Goyf.
Okay.
New Goyf is better.
Sure, I don't disagree with that. But the Dark Confidant one,
Yeah.
I will bet you one stone cold dollar that more people prefer Old Bob to Skrillex Bob.
Easily take that bet.
All right,
We gotta have a
Michael?
string bet here.
stream bet, shake.
We got a string bet. We can conduct a poll later on.
Yeah, I think what we should do is we should wait until next week, conduct a poll. You know, maybe round 2, round 3, and then have the results at the end. You know what? Actually, I'll do you one better. I'll bet you a pack of Modern Masters 3.
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
we're in. Let's
Well,
go.
We have
We'll open it on stream.
10 times the bet right now.
Okay.
10 times the
yeah.
bet.
We're gonna bet a pack of Modern Masters 3. We're gonna open it on stream. Like the winner gets the pack and is gonna open it on stream. Dude, you're so wrong about this. Chat,
Jason,
back me up
we're
here.
not playing. Wagering is completely acceptable. But for those who are just joining us right now, we're waiting for round 3 to end. I think there might be one outstanding match.
So many grindy blue decks at this store.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of them. Hang on.
The number has kind of fallen
Yeah.
quite a bit. I think all of the grindy blue decks have actually finished playing. It's like all the grindy green mid-range decks that are actually slogging it out.
Okay, so let's pull up Dark Confidant here. Okay, so this is Skrillex Bob. This is the one that Dan prefers.
Yes.
He thinks that Skrillex Bob is better than Old Bob. Old Bob from Ravnica is this Bob.
Who is this random guy? Who's this random poorly drawn ginger guy?
Isn't Bob Maher like super duper mega famous and won a bunch of stuff?
He's old school. Anyone who has started playing that.
God.
but
I am gonna win a pack of Modern Masters 3. Let's go.
it will have foil seance in it if you win.
Dude, you know you can redeem playsets of Seance for Reddit Gold.
So I've heard.
That's halfway to a playset. Like, I'm telling you, dude, this Bob, like, there's just something about the old one that's just like, you know, I understand that the purple thing on the Bob Maher one is questionable. Yeah, like, but this one is so much better. Like
Oh yeah, I know this was one of the cards that he designed. He won the tournament where you got like
you got won the invitational. Yeah.
Right. But like, I don't want my cards to look like real people. Like, one of the worst parts about Snapcaster is it looks like a dude. I don't want my cards to look like real people. I want dragons and angels and whatever Gorgoys.
Lurgoyfs? Yeah. Okay. No, but I think that I like this one because it almost looks like a stained glass window. Like that, and that just I really like how the colors are like set up and how he's sort of outlined and whatnot. Like I really don't think that Skrillex Bob is gonna win this poll.
I'm feeling
Dude,
confident about this.
Chat is on my side here. Like, trust me.
Chat hopes I get max punished for this.
Yeah.
All right, but this looks like we got the pairings for round 4. Sweet.
Go do it.
We'll go ahead and pull some.
Ooh. Okay. So hey, Dan, a poll has been posted.
Oh, okay.
Well, so like one that was done on MTG Salvation by a lot of people. Dark Confidant art poll. All right, let's see.
Keep me in suspense.
Uh-huh. Okay. Is there a way to see the actual vote on this? That's what I need to know. I would really like to see where in this link they actually voted. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Get back. Where's the view results? Great. Ho ho! Ho ho! Oh wow, this poll has a lot of votes in it too. Oh man. Thank you. SFF039. We are gonna open a pack of Modern Masters. Woo! Maybe not. Maybe next week. But so, Daniel, how do you feel about a poll with 376 votes? Is that a large enough sample size to arbitrate this question?
No, because this was conducted in the past.
Okay, so you want to do it in chat. Next week.
I want to do it. Yes.
Next week we're doing it in chat. But here's a little preview for you. What up?
Yeah, it's only a 19-point margin.
It's 60-40, dude.
19. Yeah, almost 20.
There are a lot of elections that are closer than this.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got an entire week to change sentiments here.
Guys, if you like old Bob and you don't want new Bob to win and for Dan to open a pack of Modern Masters 3, be here next week because we are going to vote. We are going to exercise democracy.
Yes.
All right, down to the play overlay.
All right, so we've got Nick Wild on Mtgcard here, playing against Ian, who is on Mardu something.
All right.
He showed me a Falconwrath Aristocrat.
Maybe it is just aristocrats then.
Yeah. He called it the old school name of Dega, which is not a word I've heard in quite some time.
Dega is quite old. Oops, I accidentally wrote Nick Wild's name as Mtgcard. Hold on. My mouse is having some difficulties here. All right. All right. So let's get the 0-0 here.
Oh man, the odds are not in my favor.
They're not in your favor, Dan.
Look.
You're about to spew some value right into my open foil lily.
I mean, I'm well capable of, having like a Katniss Everdeen comeback here.
The odds are ever in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a 2 out of 10 on that.
Fair.
All right, so we are gonna get in. It looks like Nick is gonna mulligan. Ian looks like he kept Colligan's command and some stuff.
Was that a Courser crew fix I saw? That can't have been a Courser, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Zulaport cutthroat.
Oh, well, maybe this is just Aristocrats Day.
Yeah, dude.
You know what's really good with cutthroats and blood arts?
Falconwrath Aristocrat?
Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking about Rally the Ancestors. If you have a sack outlet.
Mm-hmm. Rally the Ancestors has been known to be good in the past. Nick will start by sacrificing a fetch land.
Turn 1 birds. Alright, that's the best possible start for this.
Yeah. I think 3-0. 2-1. Yeah, birds is obviously where you want to be.
The bird is the word?
Oh, please. Spare me. Alright, so that means that if he's on Aristocrats, he's less likely to be playing like a discard package, right?
Yeah, I mean, usually you fill out your deck with like Inquisitions and stuff, but,
Nick, second bird, and a land, and a pass.
Okay. Sure.
You know what's really good right here? If you kick an Electrickery.
Correct. Also, we can go land, Simian Spirit Guide, Knight of Soul's Betrayal. Or for only one additional Simian Spirit Guide, Curse of Death's Hold.
What is it with you and Knight of Soul's Betrayal, dude?
Alright, Curse of Death's Hold is also pretty good.
I know what it does.
Yeah. I miss the curses.
Nick is going to fetch during his turn. Curse of the Bloody Tome is very popular in Pauper.
You know what was really good in Control Mirrors?
Curse of the Bloody Tome?
No, Curse of Echoes.
What does that do?
Anytime you enchant someone, right?
Hey, look it! There's a Dark Confidant.
Yeah, look, the correct art. Yeah, anytime you enchant a player and then tend to cast an instant and sorcerer, you get a copy first.
It's pretty good. Okay, so at Big Daddy Snow in the chat, I don't have a problem with Knight of Soul's Betrayal. It's just like Dan is unreasonably obsessed with this card.
Card is great.
Also, so like looking at Nick's hand, he's basically got ways to cast a Resto on turn 3, and then he's got nothing else going on. He's got lands and Resto. Now just land and Resto.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems with this deck. You can often
Get these weird mulls.
Well, no, you can often draw like there are very few ways of redrawing unless you play the Nahiris, right? Which aren't like auto includes anymore.
True. We do have a possible Falconwrath Aristocrat from Ian.
It's true. That's going to run headlong into Resto.
I mean, it trades with the Resto.
It's true.
Unless he does Lingering Souls instead.
Yeah, I kind of like the Lingering
Or
Souls.
Cartel Aristocrat Zulaport Cutthroat.
Yeah, the Cartel Aristocrat's a little less exciting.
Or
K-Command. This is going to be kind of savagely blown out here, though.
Yeah. And now you sort of wasted your turn on that. I'm not a huge fan.
No, I mean, the K-Command was not going to get much value, right? Because Nick is starting to run out of cards in hand.
Right.
But you can always upkeep it.
Right,
Upkeep. You can draw step.
I like draw step.
You can always draw step, which is always good.
And Nick goes Ewit for a path and passes. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Very good against Falconwrath Aristocrat. Very, very good.
Alright, so if we've got untapped land, we can just put 4 1/1s into play.
I see a Blackleaf Cliffs. There's also a Ghost Quarter, though.
Okay, so the Ghost Quarter should be good to do this.
Yeah, I like it because then, like, the Resto just can't do anything.
I mean, it can trade for most of a Lingering Souls, which is, like, not the worst.
Yeah, but that's not what you really want to be doing, right? I think we're going to see a Cutthroat and an Aristocrat, but I do like double Souls better.
Yeah, well,
the question
I think we're
so we're going to get
Cutthroat.
efficient here.
Yeah.
So Cutthroat Soul. So this will let him. So Path on the Cutthroat is quite that's important in response to the Souls.
Yeah.
Because that Cutthroat could do a lot of work.
Yeah, this prevents any weird shenanigans from happening. Like, Cutthroat's not a typical
Also,
include
Nick
in a
could
lot of
just
cards.
win the game if he drew Kiki Jiki, but he didn't.
Yeah, so Cutthroat's not a typical include in most decks. So the fact that you're playing it suggests that, you know, you're having Blood Arts in your deck as well.
Yeah.
And then that means you have some sort of, like, weird synergy there.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, like, lose to, like, random shenanigans.
All right. So it looks like Ian is content to take the 3 going to 13 here from the Resto. I think Nick drew another Resto, which will let him get the path back again, assuming that Ian doesn't disrupt it, which is pretty good.
Yeah, also
Although
importantly...
Ian does draw a Bolt, and that's very, very effective at disrupting this. The question is, if he taps out of... Oh, no, he has double red. He's fine.
Yeah. So we got to be careful how we tap our mana here.
If he taps both his red sources, yeah, he's got a problem.
Yeah, this is also true just in general. Like, even if you don't have anything in the hand, it's good to represent it.
I agree.
I think Ian looks like he's tapping Falconwrath mana.
Yeah. Falconwrath Flashback Souls will do it.
Yeah, but that does tap us out.
It does tap you out of Bolt, the Eternal Witness.
Yeah.
And that path will be very, very good against the,
we're tapping out of red here.
Oh, wow, he just did tap out of red, didn't he? Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like this very much. He has Cartel Aristocrat or Flashback Souls. Attack you for 6 in the air. But now Nick just, plays Resto and eats a token, right?
Yeah, and it's a little unfortunate that
Blink,
Ian...
Ewit, get back path your Aristocrat, eat a token. Jeez.
Yeah.
This is a blowout.
This is pretty bad. Especially, like, this could all have been prevented.
Right, if he didn't tap out of red.
Yeah.
The question is, does Nick use... Yeah, Nick will use the path here. Okay, so whoop. Good stuff off the top from...
certainly a good draw. This could have been prevented.
By just not tapping out of red.
Yeah, there's just no reason to tap in this way.
And now Nick gets to attack for 6 in the air. Apply a lot of pressure to the life total.
Like, if you leave a Concealed Courtyard and Blood Crypt, think how much more that represents.
It represents Terminate, Bolt, like...
All things that could be played, right? Like,
right,
it's all very reasonable things.
And
like,
now
you could even get into, like, jankier territory where, like, you know, maybe, like, Victim of the Night.
Right, that's what I was thinking, too.
Double Fatal Push, like, lots of things.
Go to 7 here for Ian. His life total's very much under assault, and I don't know what Nick's got in hand, but I'm not sure he needs very much to close the game out.
Yeah, I mean, Ian's got, like, one profitable block in, like, he can block and bolt.
Yeah,
but, like,
I'm not a huge fan, but it'll happen probably. Yeah. This is another Dark Confidant.
Okay.
Nick says go. Cartel Aristocrat to follow. Also fine. Untap, draw. Tireless
That's
Tracker.
a Tireless Tracker. Okay, that's a land.
Make a clue.
Crack
the clue. Draw a card. Just attack with the restos, right? Like, you just do it.
Yeah.
Jam.
And the problem now is you have a Bob in play. Like,
yeah, you can die.
You have a lot of 4-drops, too.
But he's going to bolt one of the restos.
Yep.
Okay, this is fine. For I feel like Nick's still in a great spot. This Tireless Tracker is going to get big.
Yeah.
Barring, like, a removal draw from Ian.
Right, Ian needs to, like, run pretty good here.
That's Flips a Blood Artist, goes to 6.
So this is one way to gain a little bit of life.
Draws a land, it looks like. Yeah, land and a Blood Artist. So the Blood Artist can gain you life with... oh, wait, he's going to go to 5. Blood Artist costs 2.
Mm-hmm. And I don't really like playing that land unless you have Bonfire in your deck.
Nick with a Wall of Roots and a white card. Ooh, you can Flicker Wisp one of your... oh, wait, that's not a Flicker Wisp, is it?
There's no way it's a Flicker Wisp.
Yeah. Attack for 3. Block, and then presumably sack it, right, to Cartel?
No reason not to sack it.
Yeah, and so then we're going to go to 6 and 15. This is the type of game where I regret having to do the life totals, because they're going to be changing so much. And 4 mana, another Resto.
Okay, main phase Resto. Man. Okay, so we're just going to draw a bunch of cards now.
Yeah. I mean, this tracker can almost outpace the Bob.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of cards drawn, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, just get a...
literally,
the question is, why wouldn't you buy back the path and just kill the Bob with it? I guess your opponent is going to die to their own Bob.
Exactly.
Maybe you kill the Blood Artist?
I think because your opponent doesn't have any good attacks, right?
True.
Like, he's just naturally going to die, and we're so far ahead.
Yeah.
Literally, the only way that Ian would win this game is if he's playing, like, a old school list. Yeah. Not even old school list. If he's playing, like, RTI Innistrad.
What is that? Oh, it's a path. Okay.
Yeah, and he, like, top decks Bonfire right now.
Ooh, that'd be funny.
Bonfire would be good. That's be Bonfire for 7.
That is just Plague Wind 7, you.
And, yeah, I mean...
and Blood Artist triggers all over the place.
Yeah. But barring that, we dead.
Crack a clue for Nick. Tireless Tracker gets bigger.
Alright, because, I mean, we're looking at 6 power just in the air.
Ian does have a path.
Oh,
Nick,
there's a chord there.
Nick has a Sigarda.
Oh, in the main. That's
a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the attacks.
Ian's
Path Arresto.
Remember it's a Tireless Tracker trigger?
That's so good. Path non-bows for life.
Alright. Yeah, but, like, we're just, like, incredibly far ahead.
So it looks like the Cartel Aristocrat is going to block the tracker.
Okay.
And maybe sack the... I would sack the... I don't know. I think you just lose.
No yeah, I don't know what lines we can take to, like, not lose the game here.
So we'll go to 3 here, and then we'll put player to 13 for Nick. Nick is going to play a Sigarda. Jesus.
Alright, top deck Bonfire? Bonfire one time?
0. Draw.
0? That's the
Another
second
Bob.
Bob. Okay, yeah, we're just done here.
Kiki Cord, aggressive resto draws are quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game would have looked very differently if Ian had a Falcon Wrath in play. Because a Falcon Wrath we'll get was going to get big enough where he could start eating restos.
It already does eat restos. It just has 4 power, and it gets indestructible when you sack a creature.
Right. Well, well, okay. Let me clarify what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Even if Ian, because Ian's board got shrunk down quite a bit from all the chumping he had to do.
Yeah.
But like he wouldn't have been in that position.
That's
you
right.
know, if he had the Falcon Wrath.
Yeah, no, and the Falcon Wrath would have represented a lot, but tapping out of red there just very punishing.
Right. And
then Wild with the Tireless Tracker and the third resto, the Tireless Tracker drew all those cards, right? Really making up for the fact that his opening was like kind of anemic, honestly.
yeah, I mean, like when you think about it, if Resto couldn't hit the Ewit, like we weren't doing much, right?
Yeah.
Like Resto of Birds, like, I mean, he made the play to save it, but like that's certainly not exciting. But like being able to Resto the Ewit twice,
that's just so
pretty
much value.
savage. Yeah.
Just especially when you're doing it on a high impact card like Path. This isn't just like a value Ewit. This is like a win the game Ewit.
Yes. I mean, also like so one of the problems with the Mardu combination in Modern has been, well, there were 2 parts, right? One was that while you had access to a lot of good mana, good removal, you never had a way of closing the game.
Yeah, what are your threats?
Because that always came in green, right? That came in green in the form of like Scavenging Ooze, Tarmogoyf, and like cards like that.
You can't play Huntmaster.
Right. And a lot of like the grindy cards are in green. So like in the Mardu colors, you were always constrained in like...
You have to play Bob.
Yeah, the Bob is fine because but if you play Bob, like you're not playing cards, like over the top cards, right? You're not playing Grave Titan and stuff like that.
I mean, if you're not afraid, you can play Grave Titan.
Yeah, but like if you play Bob, like it hurts a lot more if you play multiple Taskers.
Sure.
So like your deck is just strangely positioned. Like you're not like mid-rangey to fight the mid-range mirrors, but you're not like aggressive enough to be an aggro deck
to beat down the combo decks who don't do anything. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you're occupy a weird space where you're not like great at anything, and you're not. Yeah.
There was a while back when Nahiri was very popular, where there was like a Mardu Nahiri list that just played like 8 Planeswalkers, like 4 Nahiri, 4 Lily, bunch of removal, Lingering Souls and stuff. And then like some people played Bob because they had no fear, and some people played Emrakul. Some people played Wall of Omens because they had fear, and some people played Bob because they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you have no fear, Bob and Emrakul, why not?
It's a good way to lose.
Yeah, it's
also a good way to win when you don't draw your Emrakul to the bottom.
It's a way where you can lose the game from super far ahead, right?
True.
Because like you could be a little bit far ahead, and like Bob will close the window, or close the door, right?
Yeah.
But like in those decks, like if you play Bob, all of a sudden like that's your route to losing.
Yeah, we got a game here though.
Yeah. So Ian again, no turn 1 Inquisition. He might have removal for this burst now though.
Bolt the birds would be pretty good, I think.
I mean, you either bolt all the birds or you bolt none of the birds, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is like if this is the elves' problem. Is like you don't bolt Llanowar elves turn 1.
You don't want to.
No, because then you just like if they miss a land drop, you do it.
If they miss a land drop, you do it. But if they don't, then
you're just like kill your Azuri or your Archdruid, right? Like it doesn't. You can't spend removal on something that they effectively ate of. Just feels bad. Then get to their lands, just play it naturally. So I don't actually know if Nick has a second land. He does have a Thrag Tusk though, and a Wall of Omens. Yeah, I'm not seeing the second land. So if this is a bolt, he's in trouble.
It does not.
But it's not. Oh.
Yeah, against these kind of decks, I always want to bolt the birds because preventing a turn 3 play here is enormous.
Pretty big. Yeah. Another Dark Confidant.
Okay.
Draw step for Nick.
Get a land? No, that's a P and K.
But we'll get into a Wall of Omens. We'll get another look. Oh.
Finds it.
Oh, man. Please. Oh, my God.
If we had missed,
it would have been bad.
It would have been a disaster.
Instead, he drew Painless Perfect Land to cast Path to Exile on the Bob.
Yeah.
Seems decent. I would like to draw lands like that with that timeliness.
Yeah, it's calculator.
Nick has like a Revelark. Oh, he has a Courser of Crewfix.
Oh
he has
yeah,
a Pia and Kira in the Lar.
He's got a hand that's good for grinding, which is great if you have a second land.
True.
Which he does.
Extremely true.
Not only that, if this bird doesn't die, he has 2 looks to find the second land. Because he has draw step and a Courser look.
Yes, but if this is like a land into Falconwrath, I don't think there's a 4th land for Ian, but if it were, it'd be like land into Falconwrath. Now you're under real pressure. One of the card that's quite good, though, is, that's a Champion of the Parish.
Ooh.
What is happening?
Yeah, okay, so this is a very different deck than what we thought it was.
This has nice synergies with Falconwrath. Oh, yes. Flip over that land on top. Nick goes to 19.
Okay, cool. You know we're gonna draw Path to Exile too. This is like
unless he shuffles.
I wouldn't shuffle this.
I agree.
I would draw the path. Like look at the context of our hand. Our hand is just gas.
Yeah.
The only way we lose is to like some weird nonsense, and this Path to Exile will stop that weird nonsense.
I love Path to Exile. What a card. Mark Rosewater regrets that card so much.
Also, we don't have any good attacks either.
Yeah, dude, Wall of Omens and Courser of Crewfix.
Yeah.
It's like, all we need is a Phoenix God of Deception. We can start milling our opponent for like 8. 3 mana, though. Let's do it.
That's a Liliana. Ooh.
Well, I know what the path is going after.
Yeah.
Do you know what the path is going after? Because I do. Oh, Cord on top? I don't even want to shuffle again.
I don't either.
He has a Razor Verge he can play tapped. I want to keep that Cord, dude. That Cord's so good. You Cord for Resto.
Yeah.
Go up to 20. Dude, this Courser's getting value.
Yeah.
Doesn't look... Ooh, Scoos. All right.
Scoos also not bad.
Path, the Liliana.
No, so something has to die for Liliana to flip, and there's nothing they can do.
No, I think he's upkeeping it.
Yeah, which does kind of get wrecked if Ian has a bolt or a push. Like, if you you bolt your cutthroat, flip it, and then get it back, and now you don't have. Well, I guess you do have Scavenging Ooze, man. You can you can shuffle in a pinch.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is just Kiki Cord doing the Kiki Cordist things.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what Kiki Cord wants.
Dude, he's gonna play Thragtusk next turn.
Or better.
And that path was on upkeep, which I really like because it prevents the Falconwrath from coming down this turn. But like, do we even care about a Falconwrath?
At this point, no.
Dude, absolutely not. Your board is just massive.
Your board is massive and only growing bigger. You have a Cord in hand and a Cord that you're going to draw. Like,
you can eat the Lingering Souls before he gets to flash it back.
No, you can't.
Yes, because he doesn't have enough lands to do it all at once.
Oh, well, if he doesn't have enough lands to do it all at once, then yes,
this
you can.
Champion of the Parish is getting big. It is a 4/4.
I mean,
we don't care, though.
Correct.
Fundamentally the problem.
Ian can also attack and represent Bolt. It's pretty risky to double block. Because
what are you double blocking with?
Ooze and Courser.
Sure.
Because you get savaged by a Bolt.
He doesn't attack, though. This is, maybe?
Let's, alright, finds another land. Okay. So,
no.
this is
Huntmaster on top?
kind of want to draw that too.
Yeah, I know. Like, I just want to draw every card that's on top of the deck. This is going to be a Pia and Kieran Nalar. Make some Thopters.
Yeah.
Just like, now you can start beating with the Thopters.
Yeah, there's no...
I want to draw this Huntmaster so bad, though. Like, I don't even care that I have 2 mana uncracked.
We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have Cord for 5 right now.
We could just cord up the chain for Ewits and stuff.
I mean, we could Cord for Resto here.
Sure, blink your Pia, Kieran.
Yeah.
Dude, do your own Lingering Souls.
No reason though. We're so far ahead. Like,
yeah, I think the problem is just like these cards that Ian has are just really anemic.
Yeah, it's like Ian has 2 pieces of a puzzle assembled. It just so happens that this is a 50-card puzzle, though.
Sure.
And we're like quite far away.
What are the 2 pieces he has?
He has a Blood Arts effect and a sack outlet. So all we need are like a ton of dudes on board.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, though.
Does get to play a Lingering Souls here, right?
Lingering Souls is good. Wild needs to decide whether or not... Oh, Ian might not even have the fifth
He
land
doesn't
to
have a
flash it
fifth
back.
land.
Also, importantly, Zulaport is not the same as Blood Artist. Blood Artist triggers are any creature dying.
Yeah,
Zulaport
Zulaport
is
triggers
only
on
your
your
own.
own.
Which, on the board like this, is significantly worse.
Nick is going to shuffle away the Huntmaster.
Okay.
Rip.
So the Huntmaster, obviously, you want to draw it, but I don't think we
Nick.
care at
I
this
think
point.
Nick is trying to eat this Lingering Souls end
Yeah.
of turn.
I think that's just more important. All right, so
He's
Nick
going to
is-
stay at 21.
Yep.
But yeah, he needs to eat the.
You-
he eat the souls here, right?
Right, you eat the souls. You also get a second look in case you're going to draw nonsense.
He needs to flip his top card.
Yeah.
I think we're courting actually,
Oh, we might be courting.
just for Resto, or for Ewit.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is currently a chord for 3.
Yeah.
All right, it's revealed as wooded.
Oh man, what value can we get here?
What's it called?
Ewit?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a. Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Static Cast is pretty good.
Oh no. This is the power of courting.
I thought it was a Pontiff.
Yeah.
Like, Pontiff would be pretty good.
Static Caster though, kill your Cutthroat, pretty good too. Do you want to draw the voice? Probably not. Shuffle that away.
Okay.
He's gonna stay neutral at 21 again.
Yeah, unless we shock here. Which we might shock.
We'll see. Yeah, I agree though.
I mean, our life total is so high. Look at this board. Like, how are we losing?
Not basic.
Yeah.
Jeez. Holy moly. Yeah, I believe he just scoozed that. Yep.
Yeah.
Get it. Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, it's very clear that, like, Ian doesn't have removal. Or, like, there's a whole number of things that could have been killed that have not been killed.
Get him. So dead?
I would second a response to Cartel Aristocrat.
Zooport triggers on itself.
Yeah. Also, it's important noting that, like, Nick can only kill one of these Lingering Soul tokens because
He can sack.
he can sack it. Which, like, you know...
If he shocks the Cartel Aristocrat, no, the Cartel Aristocrat's never going to die. Never mind.
Yeah, Cartel Aristocrat never is going to die.
This is pretty crazy, though. Like, Wild has just assembled, like, a value train.
Yeah, I mean, with another chord in hand, like, we can...
Does he have another one?
Yeah, remember he drew the second one?
Oh, God.
And also, we have a Revelark in hand.
Revelark's pretty good. We're going to go to 1820 here.
Revelark currently returning 0 things because nothing has died. Alright, does Ian have a path? Okay, he does have a path.
Kills a Static Caster with it.
Alright,
Nick's going to gain a life from the Courser trigger.
if he remembers it.
Oh, he remembered it. He's writing on his life total right now. Huge board here for Nick.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I mean, it's not like Nick's hand is dead either. It's
Right.
Quarter Calling Revelark. So
And he gets to untap. No, he's a Thragtusk, remember?
Oh.
It's
right.
Thragtusk Revelark. It's not Court.
Did
but
we
he,
not draw a second chord?
No. We did not.
Oh, that must have been Thragtusk I saw instead of a Quarter Calling. Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Thragtusk's still decent, though. Like,
Yeah.
according to my sources, that card is pretty strong. Wild just gonna serve here.
So the thing is, like, we don't care if things die because we can Revelark them back.
Oh, right. Oh, he's trying to bait this.
But the thing is, like, I still would rather not have, like, my stuff die. Right? So this
There's
is...
no Blood Artist, though.
Yeah, so one thing that can happen is, like, yeah, we block like this.
Oh, God.
Block through this. Nick can throw one of the Thopters at the champion, so it will trade.
Oh,
And then
God.
Ian is going to sack...
Ian will sack there.
Right.
So now Nick should sack that Thopter to kill the champion, right?
Right, and then eat something as well.
I think he might have missed it, but I don't think it's gonna matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, the position could be a little bit... Like, Nick didn't need to lose the Scavenging Ooze.
Sure.
Just because you can get something back with Revelark doesn't mean you have to, right?
Right,
Like,
but I mean, you're doing it. You're getting the value.
Yeah.
Please send aid. Oh man.
So he's evoking it. So this doesn't do much, right? Like,
It just resets your board, sort of.
it resets your board, but like you traded such a big resource to do that.
That's true.
Like it's a fancy play, but like we didn't really get very far doing this, right?
Yeah, I mean, we cleared out the last of the Souls tokens, but I agree he should have sacked the Thopter to kill the champion because that would have been big then.
Yeah,
Right,
killing
like
the
that
champion
would have
been-
actually mattered, I think.
Yeah, like, so we've created one additional Thopter, we've killed both of theirs. Mm-hmm. Like, that's... Do I care about that?
I don't know. I do think that, like, the Revelark die... Like, now your Revelark's gone. Like, yeah, you have to E-wit it at this point, right? Like,
yeah, because the Revelark represents so much late-game value, right?
Right.
Like, you threw away 2 creatures to get them back, and you spent your entire turn to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think... Look, if he kills the champion, I'm 100% okay with this line.
Yeah. Also, let's not forget, Revelark is just a 4/3 body. Like,
yeah.
that flies.
It
you
flies.
can just play it and just hit people with it.
True. Extremely true.
Yeah,
so while gonna have the deck cut here, gonna flip top card. Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, a thing that you can do with Revelark, you can resto it.
Dude, we can resto Thrag too.
It's true.
This isn't a... So this is the problem. Is this Aristocrat, though? This just, like, can't attack. Right?
Right.
Like, you just can't do anything now.
Also, it's super awkward.
Excuse your stuff. Go to 23.
It's super awkward also in that, like, Nick can, like, throw Thopters at it.
Right, and just kill it.
And just kill it.
Throwing Thopters is so good.
Yeah.
Wow. He has, like, not missed a single land off this Courser.
Yeah.
Like, this thing has drawn him, like, 5 or 6 cards at least.
Yeah, I mean, like, this game is, like, well, like...
Out of hand.
Yeah, like... Yeah.
You can't even block! This is just 3, like, you just have to take it.
Yeah.
This is game 1!
2.
This is game 2? Oh, you're right. It is game 2. Yes, there we go. It's like, wow, we are really late in the round for just game 1.
Yeah, so we're just holding up Resto.
Holding up Resto's pretty good.
I would shoot sooner than later to play around, like, weird shenanigans that could happen.
Sure.
But, like, again, you do have kind of all the time in the world.
Yeah. Fetch, 14.
Yeah, the only thing, I'm, like, really not a fan of the Revelark play, just because you can, like...
I just think he needed to kill the champion. It would have been fine. We're going to go to 12 here for the Shockland.
Killing the champion would have been big as well. The champion represents the only, like, real threat that Ian's presenting. The Falconwrath obviously isn't doing much. And Nick does have access to double throw mana. So, like...
That's so much.
Yeah.
He can kill a champion here.
No, I would kill the Falconwrath.
I mean, I agree. Lingering Souls.
Okay, so here I would respond. Here I want to...
Lingering Souls and Flashback. No response.
Okay,
Alright. Attack you. Nick says Resto. Blink my Pia Kieran. Make 2 Thopters. Block 1 there. Yeah. So gonna get another one.
Alright, Ian should have a counter on that.
No,
oh,
it's
no,
only
it's not
a human.
Yeah.
It's only a human. But now Nick can just, like, you know, he's still going to town with the Scoos, which is gonna get out of control.
Yeah.
And also, Nick's at, like, 25.
Yeah. Unfortunately, drawing a land for this turn, but has a Thractus in hand. That's pretty good. Oh, this Court of Calling would be insane. You know what this Court of Calling can get?
Kiki Chiki?
Yeah.
Like, just win the game?
Just Kiki. I was thinking Pontiff, but yeah, Kiki if it's still left in his deck.
Dan, you're an animal. Oh, my goodness.
Sure. That's
Nick's going to go above 30 life. Sarah Ascendant is active. Like, you literally can do everything.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have any good attacks.
No, you do. You have attack with Arresto.
You can attack with Arresto and, like,
and 1 Thopter?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, like, I don't... Like before, what Ian needs to do is... Wow, you know what's absurd? Bonfire's not even good enough.
Yeah, dude.
Is a bonfire for 4? That does nothing.
Well, Bonfire kills a lot of stuff.
It kills a lot of things, yes, but it doesn't kill...
Also, Ian's hand is just double Aristocrat. Like,
yeah.
This card is not getting through these Thopters.
Right. It looks like Ian is almost playing the Aristocrats deck from RTR Innistrad.
With Path to Exile.
With Path to... Like, you know, an upgraded version of this.
But yeah, I agree with you. It's just not coming together. Like, Wild synergies are way better than Ian's synergies.
Yeah.
Attack with the Air Force of 3 Lingering Souls tokens. Nick is whatever, dude.
Do I even... Yeah, like, you probably could block some of them, but, like, it just doesn't matter.
But, like, I'm just gonna win the game.
Yeah.
I think he threw that face.
Yes. There's also like a lot of absurd lines you can take. Like I think you have enough mana to chord for an Ewit to.
That's gonna do it. Yeah, Ian just gives him the hand. Whoa. I think we just saw the train headed down to Value Town.
Yeah, I mean that was full value, and that's one of the problems with Mardu deck that like.
You just get outground by this deck. Like,
Yeah,
Kiki Court is just a way better value deck.
You can't fight this mid-range kind of combat. You're not applying enough pressure to go under it, and you certainly can't go over it, right? You can't go over Court of Calling.
Oh, absolutely not. That card's insane.
Yeah.
Do you want to check if there's another match? We might be able to get one more.
Sure, we'll double check here.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of time left in the round.
All right, so that is going to do it for... Okay, that is going to do it for round 4. Dan is back after a quick check, and what is the story?
It doesn't look like there's anything meaningful we can put on. It looks like people are kind of like wrapping up their evening.
Milling around. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for tonight's stream. Thanks everyone who tuned in to watch. This stream is sponsored by MTGCardMarket. Which is a magic shop on the north side of Chicago, just a few blocks west of the Belmont Red Line stop. If you're in the Chicagoland area, definitely come out and play. There's events basically every single day.
Yeah.
Monday Standard, Win a Box. Tuesday Draft. Wednesday Modern, which we're broadcasting now. Thursday Legacy. Friday FNM Win a Box. And this Saturday, we have a Standard 1K PPTQ over here. Which you can come out, compete for an invite to the RPTQ, compete for some cash as well.
Yeah, $30 if you pre-register. It should be a fairly good EV, fairly good time. Stop by if you're in the area. Also, of note, MTGCardMarket is having several GPTs for GP Las Vegas. One standard and one modern, both of which are 1Ks. So if you're interested in playing modern, for a little bit higher stakes, please come out. Like, it should be a good time, and you can see some familiar faces that have been gracing the stream the last couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that'll be pretty heavily attended. Like a modern 1K hasn't happened in a while. I think I'm going to be out of town that weekend, which is super unfortunate. Like,
yeah.
The rest of, I mean, I would play in a heartbeat. I have not played modern in a long time, but it would be, yeah, I mean, it's going to be some cool events. And so when is also upcoming GPs? When is the next one that is Card Market vending at?
I believe GP Las Vegas.
Vegas is the next one. Okay.
Yeah, don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I know they will not be at San Antonio, which would be next weekend. But if anyone's in the area, Card Market as usual, always buying. But yeah, it's been great having you guys here with us tonight. Until next week.
Yeah, we're going to sign off for the night. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. MTG Card Market Wednesday Night Modern signing off. See you next week, everybody.